Welcome to Ember Dawn version 3. We have a new DM, Mr. Johnny Dark Paladin in the flesh.
That's me.
And now we return to where we left off. We return to Session 59, the Blackthorn Maze. Everyone follows Gwyn into the maze. Korrah and Felix are struck with memories. Felix sees his mild magic blow up and kill people, and Korrah sees flashes of the Cabal, carving into a celestial to consume it. Aaron asks for a plan, saying the ritual is meant to prevent the Grove from consuming the Ebon Ball, and that the Green Man and the Grove cannot interact, lest it cause another change storm. They see bones twitch in the maze as they go through. Gwyn feels the Grove resisting Aaron and Guihua in particular, and stops, uncertain what to do. Korrah tries to help calm her down, and Gwyn decides to continue further into the maze. Aaron and Guihua sense spirits of the dead around them, and after trying to speak with them, Aaron sees a vision of the Grove consuming a young Aura man. They are then attacked by Deathlocks, fending them off. Gwyn expresses frustration that the Grove is delaying the chance to speak with her, but the Grove tells Gwyn to protect. And that's where we left off.
Alright. So as we're walking through the maze, you guys saw Gwyn have her little outbreak. She threw her ring to the ground in frustration, and then after a few moments, picked it back up. Turning back to the group, she waited for them to follow her, and Korrah went to her side, and I'm assuming that the rest of the party followed. You guys continue onwards into the maze. The pull in Gwyn's chest is tightening more and more. Everyone's breathing becomes shallow as the red haze continues to fill the pathways. The mist thickens to a point as if almost opaque. Gwyn stops in front of a wall of red that has rose up in front of them, gripping her focus firmly in one hand. The briar ring breaks her skin as she steels herself, gripping the focus. She feels the tugging in her chest crescendo. She begins to walk forward, as if pushing into the wall. There's resistance, but she manages to push past to the other side. To the others, it appears as if a multitude of cracks have spider-webbed along the semi-solid barrier of red in front of you. As her foot reaches the other side, the wall breaks. A series of tinkling noises echo the corridor as fragments shatter to the floor. They seem to turn silver, as if dust, when they reach the ground. A change in atmosphere settles in the maze as some sort of seal seems to have broken. The mist curls up as if to caress the party before it dissipates, allowing room for the others to pass through to the previously blocked path on the other side. Gwyn stands there waiting for you guys. Do you all follow?
Korrah will follow.
Yep. Will follow.
Yeah.
What did the wizard say?
He said he would follow.
Oh.
As we walk through to the other side, you feel a strange presence. Everyone kind of looks around, and as they reach Gwyn, something happens. Korrah, as you walk through to the other side and you feel the seal break, what do you experience?
Korrah steps through the seal, and suddenly it's as if a great pain seizes her. She gasps and stumbles to her knees, one hand gripping her knee. The pain flares around the lower half of her leg before the others begin to see blood seeping through the fabric of her trousers, beginning to stain a deep crimson around her calf. She grits her teeth, trying to force away an oncoming pressure in her head before her eyes flash a brief gold as a memory begins to force its way through. How does the party react?
So she's gripping her leg because it started bleeding?
Yes. And then her eyes flash.
Did they flash like the gold from when she had the memory the previous time, or?
Yeah, it's the same color, but it's the same color, but it's very brief.
Okay.
I don't think Felix makes any sort of movement. He just watches. He doesn't jump back. He doesn't do anything. He kind of nods.
I mean,
Sorry.
Gwyn would have turned around and kind of like checked to see if she's okay. Does she like look like she's going in her freak out mode again, or is she just like reacting to pain? Because if it's the latter, she would reach out.
She's
to her.
reacting to pain. So as everyone turns their attention to Korrah, they hear the walls of the maze hiss around them as a distant voice speaks. "Spare me the groveling," a distant, deep voice speaks through the haze from the face of an unnamed person in Korrah's vision. They sounded far, not quite close enough to fully understand. You knew what you were getting into when you went against, and then the voice fades. Another cuts through, panicked, dire. "This is sacrilege!" And then a call of, "Help me! Help me!" Still shadowed in the corners of her mind as the memory takes over, Korrah feels herself in the present try to stumble back up desperately, as if she's trying to run. Pain clips the side of her leg, back in the memory, leaving her stumbling before the unknown person was upon her, grasping the collar of her shirt and hoisting her up. She kicked, screamed like a feral animal as their arms gripped around her small body. No words could escape her mouth other than her rabid shrieks as she took the opportunity to turn into the person's arm and bite down on an area of flesh exposed to the gaps of their armor. The pain seizes Korrah's leg in the present, and she drops back to her knees, gripping her leg harshly until her nails are digging into the growing open wound on her calf. Breath labored, desperate for air. As Korrah struggles, everyone else sees a young Aura girl flash across their minds, dark skin, coily hair short to the scalp, get hoisted up before she tears into the flesh of an armored person with her teeth, completely feral. How do they react?
Does the child figure like look like it could be young Korrah, or is it like very obviously like a different person?
It is very obviously a young version of Korrah.
And also, are the help me voice, is that Korrah or is that the other voice?
You cannot tell. It is just a voice in the distance.
I mean, Lizard's spines are gonna like stand all straight up, and he looks kind of freaked out, but he's staring at you.
Felix takes like a... Go ahead.
Nope,
Oh.
You go ahead.
Okay. Felix takes like a step back. His like eyes wide open. He's like, I don't think it was necessarily something he was expecting. He's expecting something fucking crazy to happen, but not that.
Aaron will start slowly approaching Korrah, like one step, see if she like is even aware that they're there, you know, or is she just completely immersed?
She seems completely immersed. As Aaron begins to step closer, more memory flashes across her vision. Unceremoniously, Korrah landed it down in the grass with hard knees, already scrambling to get back to her feet before the guard reached her for her again. But what snagged her this time was not a person, but a lone vine waiting for its next victim. She pivoted on her back as the vine twisted up, thorns piercing into her leg to leave behind the same crimson color as the other young Aura, who was screaming just as loud as she was. Desperately, she twisted her arm down, ignored the ache in her shoulders with every movement as she yanked the dagger free from her boot and sliced it across the plant, freeing her leg from its grasp. It was as if the gut had awoken the entire wall of greenery, the screeches angered and deadly as her own, echoing across the meadow until it had faded deep where no one could hear their struggle. And in the present, Korrah shoves her bloodied hands in her hair, gripping the sides of her head in an attempt to force away the memory in all of its ugliness. Catching a glimpse of the memory, the others watch as the vine snags the young girl's calf, thorns digging into it as it twists up. The grove walls respond to the memory as if it happened, screeching in pain. How do they react?
Are the vines in the memory, that's something that we all saw?
Yes, they saw the vine circling up her calf and dragging her before she cut herself free.
Are they the normal black vines that everybody normally sees that associate with the grove?
Yes.
Okay. Well, Gwen is already standing fairly close to Korrah. She will move to take a step back and then stop herself. Korrah doesn't seem like present, does she?
She's not present, no. She's gripping her head, her eyes shut tight, as the wound on her leg begins to weep through the fabric.
Aaron will, like, seeing that she's, like, not even, like, with them, she's, like, completely in her head. Aaron will, like, rush over to her.
As Aaron rushes forward, they're struck with a final glimpse. They hear a distant scream. No! No! For just a moment, Korrah faltered, turned to look back at the shouting behind her, only to see a captive Aura getting dragged into the walls of the maze. The shouts of fear faded as blood choked up in his throat, dribbling down his open lips, body sagging against the plants. Each brush of foliage seemed to wrap around him, slowly, gently. If she hadn't been privy to his fear, she almost thought it would have been an intimate gesture, watching as his bones were crushed underneath the pressure of the vines, roses springing from open wounds, a harmonious discord between Aura and the grove. The walls of the grove shriek one final time, as the vision crosses Korrah's mind of the captive Aura being consumed. Korrah's eyes open wide, horrified, her gaze moving as the last glimpse of the past catches in her mind and hers only. She sees a shine of a blade grasped between bloody fingers. And then she's left panting.
Gwen's going to crouch down in front of her, and as Aaron runs over, does he go to, like, touch her or anything, or is he just running next to us?
Next to you. Like, he crouches down with you.
She looks as if she wants to reach out to touch Korrah, and then she stops herself. And her eyes are pretty wide right now. She's just watching her, and she's going to speak really quietly. Korrah, can you hear us?
Korrah's breath labored. She takes a deep breath. You can tell she's trying to stabilize herself back in the present before she just wordlessly nods.
Aaron will kind of see her, like, breathing kind of become slowly more collective, and he'll just say, like, softly, "It's all right. It was a memory. It had to have been. It's not real. You're here with us. You're safe."
It was real. She takes another deep breath and she gets back to her feet, the wound on her leg still bleeding.
"Are you hurt?" He, like, sees her leg.
It's fine, I think.
Gwen will stand up when Korrah moves, and she'll make a gesture, kind of wordlessly asking if it's okay if she touches Korrah's arm.
Or we'll give her a small nod.
She'll cast Replenish on her.
Okay.
For the purposes of this, I'm not gonna roll. But I will mark off a spell slot. Do we need to talk about this, or can it wait?
I think we need to keep going.
She'll give a little nod and look to the back of the group. What are the other two doing?
Felix is just standing there. It's not he's from own experience, he's used to crazy shit happening to him. So he assumes it's something like that, and at this point there's not anything he can really do about it. So he's not going to try and do anything about it because He can't. He knows what it's like. He's just gonna sit and wait until he's told where to go and what to do, because he has no idea what the fuck is going on.
Lizard's just staring at Korrah with a slightly calculated gaze and a little squinty. But he's gonna slowly nod his head and his spines are gonna drop back down. But he's not looking at Gwen. He's just staring at Korrah.
She'll glance back at Korrah and kind of give her a little nod. And then as she turns to keep leading them down the path, she'll just say quietly, "We'll talk later if you need to, but I agree, I think we need to keep moving."
Point of clarification, are we going further into the maze?
Yes.
Okay. I thought so, but I just wanted to...
Is there anything more to your memory, or can I continue my narration?
You can continue. Korrah will just follow. She's a little out of it in a way, you know?
Gwen will reach her hand out and kind of gesture that Korrah can hold on to her hand if she wants to, because Korrah had been doing the same for her earlier in the grove.
She'll take it.
Okay. Continuing on down the corridor, you make it another 50, 60, 70 feet. The briars around us don't seem to be reacting anymore after that memory that was shared with us. But as we keep walking, that original word echoes in Gwen's head as she forges the way for the companions down the corridor. Protect. She claws a hand through her hair as they walk, the scars covering her body constantly seeping black ichor from her blackthorn heart. The gray breastplate she normally wears, having been thrown on hastily before entering the woods, has begun to stain black. She glances down at the persistent wound before a memory flashes through her mind. Quick. Blurry. She stumbles for a moment, squeezing Korrah's hand as she's been holding it. And then she sees her patron, grayscale, as if a portrait. This is how she saw her in the copse of trees outside of Kiel. But no, wait, the vision flickers. The gray-skinned Ara with white hair shimmers. Color briefly paints her features, and the manifestation of the goddess becomes vibrant. Deep greens breathe life into the onyx leaves, and the crimson thorns glisten. Black roses explode in full bloom. They glitter with specks of silver. The grove is ethereal. This vision is unbeknownst to the party, who instead glance around to see the maze shimmering slightly, as a sickly, bloody maze seems to be transposed over top of something pure. Small patches of briars seem to flake off into black dust, the vines underneath a deep, dark black green. The grove seems to be internally fighting off a sickness. The figure in Gwen's mind is now resplendent, full of life, healthy. The goddess extends her arms, and with them a great expanse of foliage rises around the clearing. Glimpses of Ara, bursts of emotions and feelings. Protect. That word again, but the meaning is different. Protect, protect, protect. The word echoes in Gwen's mind, multiple voices repeating the words simultaneously. The voice she heard in the maze the night of her pact, but now it's clear, that voice was many, more defined and yet all in unison. The meaning. The meaning changes depending on the speaker. Deep voices, light and feminine, elderly, childish, a stern voice giving an order, and then hers. Gwen's breathing spikes, and she releases Korrah's hand and she bolts ahead. The healthy briars reach out and urge the party forward, shooing them down the corridor to follow Gwen. They don't seem malicious. Does anybody react when that happens?
Felix reacts to seeing like a literal patron or something like that.
You do not see that. You do not see that.
Oh, I don't? Okay, never mind.
No.
Nope.
The only
never
thing
mind.
that the party sees is the shimmering transposition of the corrupted grove over top of something that looks purer.
Okay, never mind then.
Korra Korra observes the healthy briars, and it's such a stark contrast to what she had just seen in her own mind. And she's confused, but also sort of an understanding comes over her as she recalls how they had been told about the Grove's corruption. And then, as Gwyn bolts forward, she sort of snaps back into it and quickly follows.
The others don't have any immediate reaction. I will continue.
Nope.
So Gwyn bolts ahead. The blood begins rushing in her ears as she turns the last corner. Her step is steadfast as she bounds over the brambles. The corridor opens up. This tunnel, she recognizes that light. She sprints up and over, peeking the crest of the incline, ignoring the voices of her companions if they manage to speak, as the ones in her mind begin to sing that one same word in harmony. The overwhelming weight of the word crashes down as a command, spoken by the collective voices, once only in Gwyn's head, so that all inside the maze can hear. This word is something that everyone hears. Protect us, set us free. Gwyn gasps, her eyes flashing a silvery white, and then you all tumble. The field of acedia does not lay ahead. Instead, the briars melt around the party as the maze of blood vanishes. The smell of roses permeates the air as they scatter into a heap in the back courtyard of the Qitu. Small vines of the healthy, pure-looking briars sprout around them. The sun is just now rising as dawn crests the horizon. Gwyn lays on her back with tears streaming down her face as she clutches something in her hands. The rest of the party has been thrown to the ground, as if ejected from the maze.
Wait, so we're behind the Qitu?
We are in the backyard courtyard of the Qitu, yes.
And are there briars like where we are, or?
There is the best way to describe it, basically it's a small little circle of vines that seem to have begun sprouting around us. They look healthy. They look like the deep dark green that was underneath the black ones that everybody saw.
Surprised at where we are. Like, what the? He's just like, just kind of trying to take everything in. He's not used to seeing.
It looks like a little bit more like a normal plant color, but like it's still like a deep dark green.
Yeah. Felix can see green, so.
Aaron kind of like grabs, he like examines the, just like a little like section, kind of like gently like touches it, see if it like reacts at all.
The vines, once you hold them in your hands, they seem to basically hold your hand, but it doesn't seem evil. I mean, it's a plant that's just kind of like, oh, something warm, sort of like a snake. It starts to curl a little bit.
Lizard's just quietly swallowing some reekerge after having been transported to the courtyard, and then he's gonna stare at all the plants and then just turn and stare at Gwyn, but he's not gonna touch any of them.
Okay. Korrah, what you doing?
Korrah, she also grabs one of the vines and she stares at it, the blank expression, and then she pulls off her boot and then holds the vine up to her leg and sort of mock circles it around it and to follow the spiral of like blood that seeped into her pants. You can see it's a spiral now. And she just stares at it.
After a few minutes of the party doing these various things, Gwyn sits up. She seems to be in a bit of a daze. She opens her palm, and there rests her focus. No longer on her finger, it is sitting in her palm. The Blackbriar ring shimmers with an inner silver radiance, something that the party has not seen in all the time that she has carried it on her person. Her eyes are slightly glazed, and tears still continue to stream down her face. She reaches into her pocket, reminiscent of waking from the grove the original night of her pact, and she retrieves a small bundle. For anyone watching, she opens what seems to be a red cloth, and from it she pulls out what looks to be one of her blackthorn seeds, but this one is unique. It's still black, but there seems to be a silver shimmer that radiates from inside it. If the others are not looking at her, they are now. It seems as if something innate is pulling their attention. The small bramble shoots around them begin to twinkle with silver dust, the same as in Gwyn's vision. There's a still silence that settles over everyone. And then you hear the goddess's voice trickle out into the air. Everyone here can hear it. Omnipotent, as if speaking from all directions. Ethereal. Gentle. The grove speaks. I knew you could be strong for me, little one. Her voice dances around them like whispered music. I believe you all will be able to find means to freeing us. Though, for those you sought, I'm afraid they are no longer among the living. The voice stops. Does anybody react to what was been said?
Aaron looks like very confused. And he just kind of looks at Gwen, seeing if she is going to say anything or...
She does not look like she's going to speak. She's sitting there still, crying. It doesn't seem like she has any control over that, and she's just gripping onto the new seed that's been put in her hand, not really looking at the others.
After hearing the goddess's voice, Korrah brings the vine up in her hands and lightly presses her lips to it and murmurs a prayer for her people.
So Gwyn is crying, Korrah is praying. What are Jorts and Felix doing?
I think Felix is still a little bit like, what the fuck? How did we get here? That was wild. And I think this is his first time, really seeing the works of, a patron or a god of sorts, I guess, or someone who thinks of someone as a god. So he's like, what the fuck? Because all of his stuff comes from just, random bullshit. So he's like, what just happened? What the fuck is going on? How are we here? Why do things look different? What the fuck was all of that?
Is he voicing any of that, or is that just
Yeah,
what...
that's him saying it out loud. He's
Oh.
like, what the fuck? Yeah.
Aaron, oh wait. I don't have my stuff. Wait, did you guys bring my bag or no?
Yeah.
Okay. Like, it wasn't just, like, my... Like,
we
weapon.
only brought your shoes?
Yeah, my shoes and you brought, like, my bag. Okay. He pulls out, like, some parchment and he starts writing.
Classic. What's the lizard doing?
Yeah, Lizard's kind of just like squinting, staring at all the little plants. He's like it looks like he's waiting for one of them to like move. He's gonna like very delicately touch one with the bone blade on his tail. And he's gonna like turn and stare at Gwen. And then stare at Korrah. And then he's gonna kind of like cross his arms and just stand there. And then he's gonna start like muttering. He's like, so the growth is not bad? Or the growth is not a plant?
The grove not a what?
Not a
A
plant?
plant?
Oh.
Growth. It hurt me once, but not now. He's just like muttering to himself, staring at one of the little sprouts.
Gwen kind of seems to not necessarily snap out of the daze, but like slowly kind of like come back to where she is. And she'll kind of brush away at the tears that are streaming down her face, but they don't stop. She'll kind of shake her head a little bit and turn to the lizard who's over there mumbling. And when he says or asks, so the grove isn't a plant, she just kind of starts like laughing.
He's gonna like turn and stare at you suddenly at the sound.
But it's not like oh boy, I'm having fun kind of laugh. It's like a very dark humor kind of laugh, and then she very quickly like stops herself.
Just gonna squint at you.
She's gonna get up and go over to Korrah. She's still kind of glancing down at the seed that she has in her hand.
Korrah will rises. Gwen comes over to her and she'll take Gwen's hands in her own to look at the seed before she like puts Gwen's hands together like with her own to like close her palms. And then she'll kiss her knuckles. She's given you a chance.
Gwen just kind of lets out a very heavy sigh. I hope so. And she'll turn to the others.
Aaron will like look at them and he kind of just like he's like looking down at like the vine that's like snaked around him. He's like, I don't understand. I thought the grove was fine with how it was. What changed?
Gwyn will go over to the little vines next to us on the ground and grab one of the brambles. And the only one that's actually seen her handle the vines, because normally they're only summoned through her magic. But I realize this is something that I've never actually described in game very often, but Korrah has seen it through our RP. The vines they seem to be sentient. And if everyone will recall, her glaive has bramble vines that curl up the bottom of it. And watching Gwyn handle these briars that are on the ground, it kind of clicks for those in the party that have been with us for a while that those vines were also reacting to the presence of people in the same way that these new ones on the ground are. And she'll reach down and kind of like caress the new ones. And she'll turn to Aaron slightly. I think that I have been misinterpreting, because up until this point, I have not heard her voice since the night of my pact. And even then, it was not like what she sounded like today. Yeah.
Okay. Lizard's gonna walk up to you, Gwyn. And he's gonna stare straight at you. He looks thoughtful. It's like a thoughtful squint. And he's gonna stare at if you're holding the seed in your hand open, he's gonna stare at it for a second and then look at Aaron and say, Perhaps the change is with you, young Gwyn. I think perhaps the Grove chose you because it knew that you could help it defeat whatever has happened to it. I think you are the key into bringing back its purity. And it seems he's gonna gently touch one of the vines with his blade tail again. It seems that you are doing a good job.
She looks at him thoughtfully and then looks back down at the seed in her hand. She will stand back up and she looks like all this information that's been given to her in this short amount of time is a little bit too much, and she's trying to process it, and it's like not really happening. And then she's gonna laugh, and then she's just gonna sit down. She's like, I need to take a minute here, or maybe an hour, or a couple days.
Jorta's gonna hand you his water flask, and then pat you like awkwardly on the head for like half a second. Well, you should hydrate because your eyes, you're crying. Drink water as you process.
She kind of like touches her cheek and she's like, oh, that's still happening. Okay.
Yes, it's a little alarming. You should drink lots of water.
She's gonna start digging a little hole in the ground and, like, stare at the seed in her hand, and then she's gonna turn and look at Korrah.
Korrah will go over to her side and sit next to her. Do you want to plant it?
Is it okay if I do?
She'll reach out and lightly touch Gwen's cheek, her thumb lightly running across. She'll give her a nod.
Aaron sees that and he's like, and he like looks at the seed. This is the special one, right?
Mm-hmm.
I can see that the grove is changing, but it feels a little risky, at least here.
She's gonna stare at it for a second, then look back up at him. I think this is something that I have to do.
He looks at her. He doesn't look like angry or anything. He looks like he looks kind of sad, and he says, I understand that your role is to help the grove, but we just saw that and received confirmation about the fate of those aura. I don't want that to happen to us. He like looks at the keep. Does it have to be here?
Yes.
I truly believe this one is different. Horrible. Look to Aaron. The grove must grow in order to heal itself. And that starts with us. Starts with Gwyn.
Do you accept responsibility for whatever happens? You plant that?
I do. This is the only reason that I am still here. I told you a while ago, when we had our conversation, that the grove is the only thing that has held my trust for quite some time, longer than I have trusted you all. And it seems that the goddess is not the only thing in the grove. And I think that is why my pact has been as hard as it has been. But this, and she's gonna hold up the seed, and then kind of glance at the briar focus in her other hand. This is actually her, not the corruption or whatever else has been happening to the grove. But I think this is the start to fixing it.
Is there any way that you can get confirmation that he looks down at the seed is the true goddess?
She just kind of stares at him a little bit deadpan and kind of like looks at the others. Did you not all just hear her speak to you?
We did. But you can't blame us, or me, if it's just me, for being cautious. And I hate to say this, but what if the Grove is manipulating us? So I'm asking you if there's any way that you can know that you will not be planting the corruption here.
I feel like Felix chimes in and he goes, I don't know much about it, but from what I've gathered, it's kind of the point not to know if it's for certain or not. Right? You do the thing and you hope that you aren't being manipulated. We could say the same thing about Shapot manipulating us, right? We could say the same thing about us doing things for him, right? I just think this is something that you're just gonna have to trust Gwen and not question it until something happens. And then we deal with it when it happens.
She's gonna turn and look at the lizard.
Lizard looks thoughtful. He's gonna turn one eye and just stare at Gwen for a moment. And then he's gonna clear his throat a little bit. You would not know this, Erin. But in these moments where we must have faith, it is the greatest unknown. And yes, I can say it could be scary. But not knowing, but still moving forward, is the greatest sign of trust and purity, and we must respect. Gwen has a strong, and he's gonna stare straight at Gwen, a strong faith. And it is her faith and purity that is allowing the grove to expand beyond its whatever that was, its evil cage. I'm gonna turn to Erin. You may not be able to fully understand because you have never experienced this. But when you walk alongside a power that is far beyond any comprehension, you walk in faith alone. You can never tell where the path is leading you. You just have to trust that it is in your favor. And when the path is hard, you cannot blame it and get upset and walk away. You just have to keep moving forward, because it is in these moments that you grow. The grove needs Gwen to walk beside her. And I believe that Gwen needs us to help her keep walking. Do not let your fear overtake, and do not mistake your fear for caution. He's gonna put his hand, like a scaly hand, on Gwen's. The grove attacked me in battle, and I will not forget that. However, It did save your life. And I suppose at this time I maybe trust you a little bit. So even if I do not know what this grove plant lady exactly is, I guess I can trust you to make the right decision.
During the whole time that he was speaking, as soon as he started mentioning faith, like the moment he started mentioning it, he could tell from like the look in her face that there is just like an overwhelming amount of relief that he understood her point of view. And she's going to, as he touched her hand, he grabbed her hand.
Yeah.
I'm assuming it's the one that doesn't have the seed in it. She's going to kind of grasp his forearm and like give it like a slight shake, sort of like a clasp. Your perspective is always a very warm welcome. Thank you for trusting me.
He's gonna dip his head and say, "Don't make me regret it, but yes, you're welcome."
I can only try. She's gonna turn to look back at Aaron.
He meets her gaze and he kind of looks down. I won't press this any further, but I'm not a person of faith like the rest of you. And the wizard is right. I am still scared. I don't want the corruption from the far realm to harm any of us. But I have no choice but to follow you in this.
Felix will chime in and say, I don't believe there's anything, really.
Aaron,
Same thing.
looks at him. What?
Like, not in, like, you know what I mean? Okay. But
No. You don't believe
in terms
in
of
the gods?
faith, not really.
Well, that is...
Gwen still has her eyes like locked onto Aaron, but as Felix is talking, she will just like quietly say, "The man hears a god in his head and still does not believe in them."
It wasn't until today that I had some sort of instance of it ever happening. And I may not have faith currently or ever, who knows, but that what we all just went through, I think, is more than enough of a reason for Gwen to be able to do this. And I'm scared as fuck about what it could possibly do, or what it can't do, or what certain things it can and cannot do, right? I'm terrified of it, but after what I just saw happen to Gwen and Korrah, I don't think I have a say on whether or not this thing gets put into the ground, right? I literally had no control over anything. I'm used to that, and I was more scared in one of those moments than I have been in a while. So who am I to say that Gwen can't plant a seed from a god that she gets her powers from? Right? That's bonkers to me. Yes, he said bonkers. So,
Well,
do whatever you need to do. And he just steps back and just like fucking watches. He's like,
your lack of belief in higher power surprises me, but that's not really what I was trying to say. The only thing that I can be certain of is myself. I don't place my trust in higher powers. I don't I do not choose to seek their guidance. So I don't think it's something that I can truly understand, because it's so different from my point of view. Like I said, I do not want what happened to my ancestors, Korrah's ancestors, to happen to us. But as I said, it is Guinevere's choice, as Felix just put it.
I feel like I do not need to put into words this thought, but I guess I will. I feel like all I need from all of you is to trust me in this. And Felix said that he does not have a choice or a say. I appreciate hearing your opinions and your thoughts on it. You're correct. I will do what I want to in this instance. If you all were to not want me to plant this here, I would get up and leave and plant it elsewhere, but I don't think that is necessary, and I can only give you my words of I do not wish to repeat history. I only want to try and fix and make things better for the future. So I feel it goes without saying that I do not wish harm on our group from my goddess, and she has given me this gift, as Korrah put it, of hopefully taking the step forward in fixing what has happened to the Grove. So I'm going to plant this seed that she has given me. And you're fine. Yeah, it's fair if you are fearful, but please voice that before taking action. And she kind of squints at Aaron, and you get the sense that there is a conversation she wants to have with you later. But for now, I am going to plant this, so. And then she starts to put the seed in the ground and starts to plant it. Seems like she's done with this conversation for this moment.
Aaron will move to the far side of the room as she does that. It's like I do not want to be next to where she's planting it.
Man, she's just sitting on the ground planting this,
Yeah, I know,
like
yeah,
an
like-
elementary schooler, like.
As Gwen begins to plant the seed, Korra will speak up. We are not all alike too because we believe in the same thing. We are all people of different backgrounds, different faiths, different beliefs. So long as we trust in one another, then I believe we can follow the proper course of our future. And that includes the journey of the gods. And she looks down where Gwen is planting the seed.
Pat, pat, pat. She's putting dirt on top of it.
Don't forget the water.
Well, she kind of like stares at it for a second. And she like,
I was gonna say, it looks thirsty.
oh, she's still holding like the water canteen that the lizard gave to her. And she kind of like looks at her briar focus. And I mean, some of you have been around when she has planted the seeds in other places. If you haven't, you see the thought process pretty clear over her like face that normally in this instance she would put blood on it.
Oh,
And then she unscrews the canteen and pours the water on top of the seed.
yes. Good.
Cade, what does it do?
What? I've been writing for the campaign. What? I thought you guys were doing things.
Gwen's
doing
planting the
things.
seed.
Okay, you
Does
plant the
this-
seed?
Yeah, I planted the seed and I put some water on it.
Okay.
And blood. I didn't
And-
put blood on it, just
Oh, I thought
water.
I thought you said she did both. Okay.
It will
Normally
begin
it
to at least grow rather quickly to at least a relatively small size. Give you like a nice little, hedgerow, basically.
How quick does that happen?
It's pretty small. It's like basically it makes like a little thorny shrub, about 3 feet tall. It's like a little round ball of like
It's almost
flowers
as
and
tall as
thorns. But
The water on it is like, because it starts getting big really quick.
it'll do that over the course of like a few minutes, but like it'll stop there and it'll begin growing naturally from there. You have now a piece of the grove in the Qitu.
Is it dark green or is it black?
It's green. It's that healthy color.
She just kind of like sits next to it and is kind of like poking the little leaves, and she kind of like pats it. She's like, it's so cute.
Is that not for plants to do that here?
To sprout quickly?
That was alarmingly fast. Is that normal? He looks
She kind
taken
of starts
very
like,
aback.
kind of starts laughing like, well, I mean, it's not just a plant.
I'm confused about the grove.
After it finishes like growing, Aaron will walk back over to it and he looks at Gwen. Is it alright if I try something?
Can you tell me what you're going to do before?
Sure. I am able to transfer life between all types of living things, and that includes plants. So I just want to see if I am able to drain just a little bit of its life, just to see if it starts to appear corrupted, and then I will give it back.
She squints at him and then she looks at the little plant. I don't know how comfortable I am with that, but...
Yes.
Hmm?
Lizard's just like staring at Aaron and he's like, you're going to take life from the plant that we just planted in
No,
the ground?
Just like a little teeny tiny bit.
A little tiny teeny bit.
Little tiny
This plant is little tiny teeny bit. You take little tiny teeny bit and it goes black, kaput.
I think
I want to see if it turns black.
I'm not
It
okay
will
with
turn
that.
black if you take its life.
She kind of like
It would turn
boots
brown.
around in front of him, and, like in between him and the little baby plant that she just planted.
I can control how much I take. I'm not gonna kill it. He looks at Korrah. Didn't we all just talk about trust?
I think you need to trust in what Gwen has done and not test your theories on it. I understand you are based on logic, and I completely understand that point. But I think in this moment, we need to trust Gwen and her faith.
She kind of looks at the other little brambles that have popped up, and she kind of like motions someone next to them, and she's like, do it on that one instead of this one. They're from the same
It's fine.
entity.
Yeah. Okay. He will go over to he'll go to one that's like far away from where the one that she just planted, just I don't know. Just in case, something that like on the edge.
This is just a random other plant? Wait.
No.
It's
The
the
other
ones that are
little,
deposited
the other
them.
little brambles that sprouted, but she doesn't want him to test it on like the bigger
main
one.
seed.
I see.
So he will drain just a little bit of its life and see if it starts to appear like corrupted and black, or just like a
what does the
regular
wording
plant.
of your drain ability work?
It's basically I can shift an amount of HP from living, willing creatures. So if it's not willing, it's not going to work. But
Well, it's not willing, so it doesn't work.
okay. Yeah. He like tries to, and then he looks at Gwen. It won't let me.
Wait, so like the effect like just straight up doesn't work on the...
Yeah, because you have to be willing.
He says it didn't work, and she just kind of stares at him like...
No, he says it won't let me.
Well, I mean... I don't know what to tell you. She kind of like looks at the others. They all stand there awkwardly in silence.
Lizard's just gonna like shrug and be like, what's happening?
It was just like, okay. Kind of like kicks the rocks or the grass. Fiddles his thumbs.
Yeah, is it grass or is it rocks?
I don't know.
What's the
Whatever on
ground like here?
I'm assuming dirt.
We're in the backyard, so I'm sure it's like a
Grass.
path and some
Yeah.
grass. Like,
We got some cobblestone. What's going on here?
well, I mean, so for the ball, Gwen had made like she did some like she did a little bit of landscaping. So there's like a rough little path back here and stuff. So
Mhm.
it's like nothing fancy. It's like the beginnings of something that could be kind of cool. I mean, we had like X amount of months during
Yeah,
downtime,
yeah.
so she was doing
She
stuff
garden.
back here. Yeah.
Korra lightly touches one of the shrub. And she says, I think that is yet another sign you need to let it go, Aaron. You just need to trust in this one moment.
I'm going to sleep.
Alrighty. You go to sleep. It's by this point like approaching morning. And most of the Qitu seems to be asleep, so you guys can go to bed and take a long rest if you'd like.
Hell yeah.
Alrighty. You go to, unless you have anything you want to do, you go to bed and are unharassed the rest of the night.
Nice.
Gwen acts like she doesn't want to leave her little plant, and she's probably just gonna sit down out here.
Sleep outside.
Yeah,
What
there's
time of
like
year
go
is it?
inside.
What time of year is it, by the way? I don't know this information.
It's spring now.
Yeah, it's like it was like at the end of winter, and then the hunt.
It's like mid to late spring.
Okay.
It's not quite late spring yet. Summer was
It is
still like
because
3 months
the
out.
downtime. No, the downtime was 3 months, and that was at the end of winter.
So it's like mid-spring.
Mid to late spring.
Mid-spring?
Oh my
Okay.
god.
So it's like May then, okay? Okay, so yeah, if you want to stay outside, it's not gonna get super cold or anything, so you're welcome to.
She like runs back into her room and grabs her stupid like leopard blanket, like leopard seal blanket, and then she like goes and just like sits on like a little bench outside or something and just like stares at her little brush, her little like shrub.
Little ball shrub.
Did everybody go inside?
Mm-hmm.
Korra seems uncertain whether to go inside or to stay outside with Gwen. That she Gwen rushes out with her blanket, and Korra glances at the Qitu, and then she looks down at her leg.
You can go inside. I'm just gonna sit out here a little bit longer.
I can stay if you need the company.
She stares kind of pointedly at Korra's leg. Only if you want to, or if you want to talk, but I think maybe it would be best if you went inside.
She'll nod slightly and head to the Qitu.
Alrighty, you guys go to bed. Gwen, you enjoy a comfortable evening with your, little shrub that, floats gently in the, rustles gently in the breeze and seems healthy and is very pretty.
Very good.
You guys all get a long rest and wake up unharassed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I gotta reset my headphones.
So now we can talk about the Qitu. So, the Qitu is a little bit different than we left it. Each of you either already had or should have gained something in the Qitu. So why don't we just go down the list and you can tell your companions what your character has modified. In the 40 minutes you've been in the Qitu, what they have modified to add to within the castle walls. So Aaron, why don't you go first?
Aaron.
Which Aaron?
Aaron Blair.
Aaron, the character.
Okay.
Lamau.
No. I take it the library is still like where it is in one of those towers, and then like adjacent to it is a mausoleum.
A what?
Mausoleum.
But it's not. It
Your mom's a Liam.
I kind of imagine it as like it's got like the like columns, like the pillar things, but it doesn't look like it doesn't look like spooky, you know. It's not like, oh my god, there's death in there type thing. You know, it's a cute little white.
It's like a little study hall almost.
Yeah, like my little study hall.
Yeah. Okay, and that's sitting in the back near the tower, I assume.
It was.
Or where was it?
Towers were in the front.
Okay, so
right?
it's in the front near the tower, like off on the side a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, excuse me. Is this is everybody's like keep
strongholds
upgrade?
and followers.
Okay, yeah.
The strongholds and followers thing that you all just have now. By the way, the tavern.
Deleted?
It's deleted. It's gone. Tavern's gone. Felix, you're up next. What do you got?
Oh boy. Okay, here's the first one. It's funny.
I have two.
Well, no, I haven't. You guys don't even know what all my does. Like, you can't do curses. Anytime you do a cursing, blessing, oath, there's a 50% chance that you have to roll on the wild magic search table. You're welcome.
Wow, thanks for letting us know.
I should bear this in mind. You keep track of that, okay? Not me.
Yeah.
Wait, so blessings and curses, there's a...
Blessing, curses, or oaths inside the stronghold
Oh, God.
for anyone. There's a 15% chance you roll on the wild magic.
Point of clarification. All of our, like, strongholds are if their area of effect is, like, over the entire Qitu, right?
It's within the castle walls.
Okay.
Yeah. I assume Octus Qitu is a castle, am I right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, cool. I was like, I think that's what I remember, but I'm suddenly doubting myself.
All the retainers within our castle know a sorcerer cantrip.
Oh, cool.
So you all know a sorcerer cantrip when you're inside the castle.
So you have a building, right? Where is it?
It's probably on the... So if yours is like the top in the front left, mine's probably in the front right. Opposite of yours.
What is it? What
Is
does
it a
look
tower?
like? What is it?
It's like a tower.
It's
It has
like
some
a
things
tower.
where I can like look out. I didn't think about this too much, okay? I had a lot of
So
shit
is
going on
it
this
the other
week.
tower then?
Yeah,
'Cause we
sure.
have two towers.
Sure, it's the other tower. Yes.
Alright.
Alrighty. Gwen, what do you got? Oh, no, sorry.
Oh,
Continue,
and
Felix.
when it rains, there's always a rainbow.
Wow.
Alright, Gwen, what do you got? What addition to the Qitu do you have? Besides your little small bush.
I'm cool and I don't have a building. I have an outside thing. So my addition is called the Warlock's Grove. The area around the Qitu slowly will have new shoots of healthy briar brambles. They are the deep dark green, almost black. All of the vines have a slight silver dust, like a twinkle to them. Any enemies that come towards the Qitu see only briars, and allies start to see roses appear as it begins to grow a little bit. Do I need to explain all the other effects?
No, mostly just what it looks like.
No.
Yeah, it's just it's not I would imagine there's gonna be a little backyard maze that Gwen will slowly put in, a normal thing from a mansion, a cool little outside maze you can go through.
Hedgerow maze, yeah.
Yeah, like a hedgerow. But like the actual bramble grove that is growing around the Qitu is more like a... Think of like wild blackberries.
I was about to say.
Yeah, no, it's like wild blackberries, but like they're really pretty. And they have little silver twinkly like black roses and stuff on them that everyone in our party and our allies are going to start seeing. But to enemies, it's like black thorns.
Okay. Is it like... Does it like kind of grow like adjacent like to the walls, or is it like closer to like the actual castle?
It's all over the place.
All over the place.
Yeah, so it would be along the walls and stuff, but there's like little shoots of them kind of just like sprouting everywhere. They're cute. Like they just kind of like pop up throughout like the property, I guess, quote unquote the property. I imagine they like line the pathways too.
Alrighty. What do you got, lizard?
I just found it because I was like, what the hell? Did
Panic looking for it.
I don't know where in Qitu this is, but there's now a little blacksmith
Hi.
that Lizard has, and it's similar to how the one looked when he had the Iron Lizard in Kiel. But the chest of random knives is organized.
Looks janky.
And he's working on a sign.
Is it
But,
is it in the castle or is it like a separate building?
I don't know.
It could be like a building on the side. You
I
know?
kind of imagine it as
Definitely
like,
within the castle walls.
it's within the castle walls, but I imagine it as being like kind of half outside a little bit, like
Yeah.
it gets smoky
Yeah.
and hot.
Smoky.
Smoky. I guess the benefits of it, everyone in the Qitu is immune, or all creatures are immune to disease. And I guess if anyone else is a follower of the Forge, I can hear your prayers within the keep.
Oh.
And while the lizard is healthy, like when the lizard's like anywhere and he's healthy, the weather in the keep is good and it's fair. But if the lizard is hurt or suffering, the weather turns foul. He just has to be on this plane, but he doesn't have to be in the keep for these effects to happen.
Oh, cool.
Very good.
Alrighty, and Korra.
Well, Korra's keep is kind of the whole thing, you know? It's
the
about
whole thing, yeah.
There are now real rooms, I'm gonna say, because they're not just like awkward side offshoots, there's real rooms that we all get to sleep in. There is now a council room, so we can have meetings not in front of the fire pit. Hanging at the front of the keep is the symbol of a Locktu, on a banner. If someone could you repost it, Nicole?
Yeah.
But yeah, so there's a symbol of a Locktu on a banner hanging at the front of the keep. And within the council room are the trophies we have earned throughout our journey. So the Hydra head is hanging in there. And so is the banner from the court itinerant is also in there. And there's a large ebony table for us to sit at. And there's also a small quiet room off to the side with a window allowing light through, and it's always a little warm in there, and that is a place for thought. And the overall sense of the keep gives a feeling of protection, and you get 1d10 every time you rest in the Paladin's area for 10th HP. And you know the presence of any hostile creature with more than 7 hit dice within the castle walls.
Wild.
Oh, and also in the council room, there are carvings in the stone of the story of the gods. Of all the different pantheons in the world.
Felix is like, what are those?
Read a book, bro.
Important question.
What's up?
Is there a bathhouse?
Yes! There's also a bathhouse!
Yeah!
There is, okay, so there is a bathhouse.
Very good.
A waste of water. Oh, this is the symbol. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's also going to be tattoos we get in like 4 years.
The bathhouse.
JK.
Bathhouse tattoos.
No. Oh, I guess, do you guys want to hear the extra, like, little thingies that the Grove gives? I didn't read them, I just described it. Once per month, I can just, like, yeet somebody into the blood maze. If I want to.
Bro,
there-
what?
Yeah, there is an actual spell called Maze.
Called maze, yeah.
So if there's like some enemies that show up, I can be like, no, all of you, you're going to the maze. So I can throw them into the blood maze. Fun stuff. The other things happen on initiative 20, and they're all specific to Gwen, so it doesn't matter to you guys. That's the only like fun other thing to the Grove.
I didn't describe any of my things. I can summon a fog that like covers the castle from outsiders. So,
Marine layer.
One could say
So-
a gigantic marine layer, Lamau.
I can also scry on anyone in our domain.
Wow.
And I also have another special thing that I'm not gonna say.
Oh yeah, I'm aware of enemies in the Qitu. Like, it doesn't matter where they are. They step in. The bad guys, into the maze. Get in there.
So do you know that they are there, or do you know
I
where
just have
specifically
typed
they are?
down immediately aware of enemies within the Qitu,
Oh, so we both have that one?
I
But
guess.
you know that there are enemies in the Qitu. You don't know where they are. I think the Paladin one is specifically you know where they
Okay.
are as long as they have enough hit dice. for
Okay,
you.
yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
Okay.
Alrighty. Well, there you go. There's the new and improved Aloctooth Qitu with Bathhouse included, free of charge.
Hell yeah.
So, the morning comes. It is calm. It is peaceful. Everyone is well rested and relieved after the events the past, few weeks, I guess. That
Where did this bathhouse come from?
Whoa, what's that?
everything was built within the last 40 minutes. But what would you guys like to do?
Well, I want our
Go to the
fucking
bathhouse.
rings of
Oh,
message.
wait,
Also,
yeah.
like to go to the
My feet! My feet!
Everybody went inside and went to sleep, and Gwen told Korrah, yeah, I'll be in soon, and she actually just fell asleep outside next to her little plant. And then she woke up like a couple hours later, and she's like, oh god, it's so bright out here. And then she crawled back into the Qitu, and everyone is like waking up all rested, and she's like kind of dirty, and she's like, I want to take a bath.
Your little plant would have scooted ever so slightly closer to you in the night.
Very good. Mama Grove, help.
I'm gonna go pee.
Wow.
IRL.
Or peas in the
Yeah, I'm
bathhouse.
gonna go pee IRL.
Felix-
Game.
Definitely pees in the bathtub.
No.
No.
He's not gonna tell anybody, but definitely does.
No.
go to the bathhouse. It is.
I- Do not
You don't go to
I
the
think-
bathhouse?
waste the water.
I think Felix jumps in and then just like cleans really quick and then just jumps out. He doesn't like sit. Kind of just like cleans. He's like, fuck, I'm gonna shit out of my hair. And then he just goes and fucks off somewhere.
Does Jorta like say he's not gonna go to the bathhouse?
I mean, he just woke up in his room. He doesn't know everyone
Yeah.
else is like bath
Well, did he like come downstairs though?
I mean, I guess he came downstairs. But everyone would be in the bathhouse, right? So he's just like,
I don't know. I'm like walking in. Are you afraid of the water?
afraid of water?
Do you not like to be in it?
It is just a waste. Why would I sit in it when I could drink it? Water is for drink.
It's also good for cleaning.
Yes, but drink. And he's just gonna stare off in the distance. You do not need that much water to clean. Look, and he's gonna like reach for his like water flask and then be like, "Where is my water flask?"
Oh, she's gonna kind of like pat around and like pull it out of one of her pockets.
Oh, very good. Yes. See, and he's gonna grab it from you. This amount of water. Some of it is to drink, and some of it is used to splash on scales to make sure dust does not collect. And then it is for drink again.
Gwen's gonna like grab his arm. He doesn't like stab her or anything, right?
He looks at you
And
weird.
she starts dragging him in the direction of the bathhouse.
You are wasteful.
Well, okay, look, she says as she's dragging him. Look, we're already in it. It's already dirty, so you might as well get in it with us. And she's like manhandling him to the bathhouse.
This is in. Did you know that as a child I had to open a cactus with my own hands to drink water one time, and you just have a giant bowl of it to sit in with your dirty little butt?
It's a good thing we're not in the desert then, she says as she like pushes him into the water.
Really? Like, how deep is this hot tub? I am not very tall. If I'm 4 foot something, can I stand?
Sure.
Now my clothes are wet.
She's like already in there, and she's like sitting like in the water, like eyes closed, like obviously like deep in thought, and then the lizards like eat it into the water, and she like is startled.
I feel like Aaron is like already in there too, like taking care of his feet, like.
Gwen just kind of like sheepishly like grins because she didn't realize the others were in here already, and she's like, sorry.
Aaron like looks at the lizard. Good morning.
It's not good. You just sit in this? What do you do?
It's for cleaning and hygiene and
Stagnant water is not hygienic.
he like holds up a bar of soap.
Gwen kind of like turns away and starts like getting ready to like actually like get in the like the bath too, because she's like, I'm just gonna ignore that I pushed him in there when people are already in there because I wasn't really like thinking.
The lizard's gonna climb out and walk over to Gwen. I will not forget this.
She just like she has this look on her face, like she knows exactly what she did. She's just playing dumb.
Is he like moving to leave?
He's moving to grab. He's just gonna
Okay.
chuck Gwen
He's
in
not
there
like walking
too.
out.
He's
Okay.
Get in the water with all your clothes on too.
He throws
That's
Gwen in.
hilarious.
Yes. He's so mad. His like
Are you
neck
gonna
is
resist?
black.
Are you
I mean, she does, but she knows she deserves it, so she screeches and she gets thrown in, and then kind of resurfaces sopping wet. Like she had started taking her stuff off, so she doesn't have her armor or her shawl on anymore, but she's wearing her clothes, yeah, and she's just she comes back up. And she's like, I kind of deserve that.
I imagine Felix is lurking around a corner and sees all this happen, and then just tries to not see anybody notices, gets ready to get in, and then runs and just cannonballs in.
Before Felix does that, right after Gwen is shoved in, because you said she stayed outside, right? So she hadn't she was still covered in Grove stuff. Right? Or no? Is she all muddy or?
Well, no, she wasn't she has
Her clothes.
prestidigitation.
Okay.
So she wasn't disgusting, if that's what you're asking. But she did need to take a bath because she was bleeding the black blood the whole time they were in the grove.
Felix cannonballs in then. Aaron just sits back. He's like, ah.
Felix swims over. He's like, "What? Am I disturbing your sleep?" It's doing laps. Am I disturbing you? I'm sorry.
Okay.
And then
How big? Okay, so
Yeah,
you said it was 4 feet. How long is it?
I don't think he could swim in it.
I mean, why not? You guys designed this, not me. I'm just here. You tell. How big is it? You tell me. How big is the thing?
big enough to do laps.
Done.
That is
Pool.
huge. It's a pool? I thought this was a
I was thinking
It's
more
it's like a big onsen. you
Yeah, I
know?
was like, it's like
Yeah.
a
Hot
natural
tub.
giant hot spring.
Yeah.
Those are 30 feet long.
Yeah,
Easy.
they're kind
Yeah.
of big,
Okay.
yeah.
30 feet long.
I mean,
4
got
feet.
shallow spots.
Yeah.
But not 4
looks
feet
like-
deep uniformly, but
Yeah.
there are spots.
looks
where
like
there's
washes-
deep sand.
It's like washes his body, and he's like, "All right, I'm done," and then gets out.
You're disgusting.
Gwen's gonna
No relaxing
climb out
needed.
with her wet clothes, take them off, get back in the water.
Does Lizard move to bathe too, or
He looks a little uncomfortable. He's standing there in wet clothes. And he kind of eyes you all. And then twitches his tail a little bit. And then he's gonna quietly mutter, they have them too. They have them too. And he's gonna take off his clothes in front of everybody. But,
Naked lizard.
naked lizard.
I had a feeling it was the start.
And so looking at him from behind, so he's like a brown, faint green, mostly red lizard, with some black spines and stuff, but on his lower back, where your appendix is and kidney area, there's this big scarring, and then when he turns around you can see that it's on the front on the other side, so it's a through and through.
Oh, fuck.
And then on his jaw that extends down his neck onto his chest is this very intense burn scarring. And then in this ornate patterning of dots that are black that isn't, like, you don't really know what the shape of it is yet. It doesn't look, quote unquote, complete. Is these black individual scars that are all, like, forming some shape. And then he's gonna step into the water and, like, sink down and, like, stare at everyone like an alligator.
Yeah.
So, what do you do in here?
Gwen's gonna sink down and mimic him.
He's gonna blow bubbles at you with his nose.
She's gonna like move a little bit closer, but not like uncomfortably close or anything. And she's just kind of like splashes around a little bit, like in his direction. You sit and soak in the hot water.
What a waste of water. And he's gonna sound so heartbroken, and he's just gonna stare at the water. But it is a little nice, I guess.
Pampering is important for both appearance and the mind.
Pampering? Little boy needs to be pampered?
Yes. I mean, he does the hair thing.
Gwen rolls her eyes.
Of course. I am naturally beautiful, but pampering only helps.
It is very good that you think you are beautiful.
He looks at him and he doesn't seem like mad or annoyed or anything. He's just like, I know I'm beautiful.
Gwen makes like a mumbling noise, but she's still got like her mouth in the water. So there's just some bubbles.
I think as Felix is like getting dried off and like leaving, he's like, as soon as he's walking out, he's like, narcissist, and then walks out.
He shrugs. Sure, I will fully own that.
What does narcissist mean?
What does what mean?
Narcissist.
Gwen's like making her way over to Korrah, and she just says, self-centered, as she's like scooting over to Korrah. She'll sit down in the water next to her. How is your leg doing?
Korrah will scoot back a little to like prop herself up on like a rock, you know? And then she'll lift her leg out of the water, and you see that the wound isn't like bleeding her anymore, but you see like a very dark scar that like wraps around in a spiral along her calf and reaches up to her knee. And it looks like, you know, a vine scar, like thorns like pierced into it. It looks like the scar looks like a little angry still, but doesn't seem like it's at risk of reopening because Gwen had healed it so quickly. She just sort of lifts it up and like lets Gwen look at it.
She like checks it out. She looks like sad, like apologetic.
Mm-hmm.
And she just kind of like, she doesn't touch the actual like wound, but she kind of like moves Korra's leg so she can like actually look at the extent of it, and then she like backs up so Korra can like get back in the water or whatever.
She'll get back in the water after that.
Just gonna chill in the water. Gwen doesn't seem like she wants to have like a serious conversation right now.
Sure. You guys.
Aaron will turn to the lizard as they're soaking.
He's soaking. It's okay.
Okay. Do you want to go into town with me today?
Yeah, the paint, the artist is sick.
Yes.
Yes, poor artist, yes.
Sick
I s-
artist?
Yes, I have been requested for my very potent healing powers to help a sad man. I can help. Yes, I go with you. Is it
Korra
far?
gives Aaron a slightly offended look.
He kind of looks at Korra like he's like, oh, she like off guard a little bit. You can come too if you want to.
I do not want to. And she gets up and goes over to where her clothes are and grabs a towel.
You can heal the man if you would prefer.
No, thank you. She's already drying off.
Are you sure you don't want to heal him instead? Well, she's just like staring at you.
I guess since Lizard didn't go to the bathhouse the first time, Lizard sees Korra's other scars. She has 6 scars on her back, 3 on each side going parallel, like the skin had been torn. And then she also has scars on her thigh and just like smaller ones like over her arms and such, and she has a deeper one from like her on her forearm as well, and also a small like nick over her heart. And she'll just shake her head again, not interested.
Then yes, I will go into town with you today. What is wrong? What is wrong with the man again?
All I know is that he's fallen very ill.
How associated with him? How did you meet him?
How did I meet him?
Yes, how do you
I've
know?
never met him.
Then why? Put it delicately. Why do you care? What is this man?
He kind of like twiddles his thumbs a little bit. I want to get my family portrait restored.
The one from your house?
Mm-hmm.
And so by me healing this man, who would then owe me a favor, I am giving you that favor?
No,
Is that what this happened?
You can take the favor. I will.
After he is healthy, you are requesting.
Yes.
I see. This is yes. I guess it would be nice for you to look at your family. Yes.
Korra like puts on her boots and says, I guess it would be nice to have someone who could cure disease for the boy, and then walks away.
Gwen's just like sitting there sinking like into the water, like awkwardly washing her hair. She's like, this is kind of uncomfortable now.
Why did you not ask Korra? She seems upset about this.
I just thought that you should be a little more involved with the group.
So you had no faith in my abilities. You just wanted me to feel included because you thought Little Lizard felt left out. He's just like staring at you with one eye.
would it be a problem if I said yes?
He's gonna like lean in towards you. Not at all.
He's like
No.
sitting there. I don't know what, like, he's like, I don't know if I'm like. He's being awkward.
Gwen is like making a point to like not look in their directions, as she's like, "You did this to yourself. Like, I have no part of this."
And I know that you don't really know the people of Ortwins as well as we do. I just I thought it would be good for you.
Lizard's gonna sit back and start nodding his head quickly. Perhaps this good? Yes. I perhaps admit a little bit that things have been rather estranged since I joined. I'm just gonna like stare off into the distance. I'm not really sure what has been happening since I joined your crew. But I will help this man. And I do respect their honesty.
He looks relieved.
I will not forget your lack of thought into how good of a healer I am, but that is another story. He's gonna like pat the water. I am feeling thirsty.
Gwen's gonna like glance at him and like see if he's gonna drink the water.
I'm not an animal, Queen. I will not drink this water. I am not into partaking water that others have sat in. He's just gonna like...
And right about this time, you hear like some pitter-patter scratching noises, and Digmith just comes like yeeting down the stairs and makes a little like chirpy noise and starts like drinking the water.
You I'm not that. He's just gonna stare. So disappointed at the lizard that's drinking the water. Oh, distasteful. He's gonna step out. Aaron, come grab me when we go heal the painter.
Where will you be?
I will be somewhere. Where do you think I am going to go hit some metal? A lot has happened.
Alrighty, so you go to the forge. Korrah goes somewhere.
She'll go to the council room.
Felix goes somewhere. We'll do this in a nice, orderly fashion.
I want to go to town.
Sure, you can go ahead and run into the lizard, and I assume the lizard will inform you that they're going to town. So you can join if you'd like, and then. Is there anything else anyone wants to do today before we go into town?
Wait, so what's in the council room? A table?
Big table!
Big table.
Big
Is there
table,
anything
some
else?
trophies. And then the side room is also, it's near the council room.
Is there do you have like a staff there that keeps you up to date on things?
No, the council room's for Aloktu specifically.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah,
So it's not like a
room, I think.
consulate.
It's a war room, yes.
Yeah. It's not.
We've got our copies of our letters, probably all that political stuff in there as well.
Sure. Alrighty.
Gwen would have gone and asked Korrah if she wanted to talk today, or if she was like wanted to just like not do that stuff.
Korrah will just kind of like raise her brow. She's like organizing some papers. She'll just kind of raise a brow and be like, "What did you want to talk about?"
Well, that'll be a conversation for after people go to town then.
Alrighty. So, while you are getting ready, Aaron and Felix, you go to the little forge, lizard. By the way, what do I call you? What should I be calling you?
My name is Kri Kree.
Kri Kree. Okay.
Kri Kree?
Kri Kree.
Kri Kree. Alrighty, Kri Kree. You go to the forge, and anything particular you're doing, you just like looking around.
You're doing your mom.
Get out of here!
No! Whose mother is this? Please take that away. He's like organizing it, and he's like tapping his toes like a little bit giddily because he hasn't had a station like this before. Because I'm assuming it's a lot nicer than what he had in Kiel.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It's like actually like a forge. He's like going around and he just kind of keeps like touching things and being like, this is my hammer, and then this is anvil, and he's like introducing everything to each other.
Yeah, you got like a little bit of staff there, like to support if you're like looking to do things.
Yes. Hello, everybody. Yes.
You hired like some like teenage kid from Ortwins, and he's like, "I'll help you heat up the forge."
Do you have a name?
Oh, Jesus Christ! All right, sure.
Make a name, dear.
This is his first job since like becoming a quote-unquote adult.
The guy's name is I don't know. Alan.
Alan? Yes, very good to see you today. When I speak to you, I want you to stand at attention.
Alan is like, okay, and like stands sort of awkwardly like next to the bellows.
Do you have an attachment to your fingers?
Yes.
This may not be the job for you. However, we are going to change that. Fingers are temporary, but the forge is for you.
Oh my fucking god.
No. Sort of like nods at you, kind of scared, like, okay.
Do you have any experience with these very delicate instruments?
I mean, a little bit.
A little bit, that is good. Are you afraid of fire?
No, sir.
Very good! Lizard's gonna, like, clap him on the back. Alright. I think I have to leave soon, but I want you to make me a metal leaf.
A leaf?
That is perfect. To prove to me how good you are in the forge. And then, if you are good, I can show you my special lizard techniques. Pass down through my family.
Okay.
Does he seem at all intrigued?
He does. He also is like confused and nervous. Iron stands eternal.
Do you know how to make a metal leaf?
No, but I can practice.
Very good. I will show you how to make one, or walk you through the steps. Are you ready?
Sure, I can heat up the forge if you want.
Yes, very good. Start it up, yes.
Alrighty, and he sets about, like, starting to fuel the furnace and begin to, like, pump air into it to heat it up to, like, a temperature where things are workable.
Yes. Nothing like good hot, dry air. He's gonna, like, breathe in deeply.
Alrighty, about this time, as the forge is heating up, I assume Aaron and Felix show up.
Yeah.
Aaron is carrying his new staff and his sickle that he had before.
Oh.
Walks in, I don't know. I figured this might be a good time to ask you since I'm here. He like looks kind of like this place is dirty.
Oh my god.
Clean. Comparatively.
And he like holds them out to him, or I don't know, is there like a table?
There's a table, sure.
Yeah, he'll like put both of the weapons on the table. Do you think you could infuse some of the sickle into the staff so that I could keep some of the properties of this weapon, but use the staff as my new arcane focus?
Huh. Is the staff made of wood?
Yeah, it is wood, yes.
Mm-hmm.
And the other one is like bone material.
Oh.
You figure you probably could.
Okay, I was like, deal?
Yeah, you probably could.
Do you want me to do that right this second? Because it may take some time.
No, I thought it might be better to drop it off so that you did have time to work on it before, I don't know, something comes up.
Well, I have never worked with bone and wood in this fashion, but I believe I can do what you are asking.
Thank you. Don't.
My friend Alan here.
Aaron like looks over at Alan.
He immediately stops at the bells and turns and stands at attention.
He's a very good man. And like nods slowly at his attention stance. He will gladly help with this task. However, not right now, Alan. You keep working on the leaf.
You haven't taught me anything.
Oh yes, alright. I will show you quickly what the steps are to making a leaf art. And then we will go into town.
Alrighty.
The three of us, not you, Alan. You will stay and work on leaf.
Kid is
Okay.
like 14.
Yeah, he's a pretty young kid. He's,
I'm
like, he's
doing
not
it.
that
I
young,
did it.
but he is pretty young. Like, he's definitely not like an adult yet.
Alan, do your parents know that you are here?
They sent me to work here, yeah.
Well, good. All right. There will be no awkward conversations then. Okay. You...
Your parents know that you're working here.
Lizard will like walk him through the basic steps of
Okay.
how to make a leaf. That's literally like the first step of like when you're trying to learn how to work on a forge is you make like a very simple pattern
Mm-hmm.
that you're familiar with. So like a leaf is a good one.
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna give him some like scrap metal and like talk him through like, okay, you heat it up, and then once it gets malleable to this point, you bring it over to our friend Alvin, and you hit it with the big hammer. Are you strong enough? Can you hold the hammer? And he's gonna like let Alan hold the hammer and watch him be like, are you weak enough? Are you?
I mean, it seems like he could do it. You can tell his form is not great. He's not putting like the weight of his body into the swings.
Mm-hmm.
You can tell his form might need a little bit of work.
Mm-hmm. Lizard's gonna like angle his elbow slightly and like adjust his grip delicately with his like claws. You hold
Alright.
it this way, and this is how you make leaf.
Alrighty, I will have this done when you get back.
Very good. Make sure you turn off the forge once you are done and don't burn this place down.
Okay. Thank you,
Gwen
sir.
can check on you.
Thank you, sir.
Yes,
Aaron
you are
grabs-
well.
Aaron grabs the staff, but he leaves the sickle and he looks at Alan. This better be here when we get back.
I will only move it into a safer spot if I need the table.
Smart boy.
Alrighty, so at this point you guys head into town after about dinking around for probably about 20 to 30 minutes. You guys start heading into town.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, very good.
Right, I said yes 4 times, so I might didn't pick it up.
Alright, so while you guys are out and about, we'll get to that in a little bit. Korrah and Guinevere, what are you guys doing?
Memeing in general. I said Alan's gonna come home from his first job with less fingers and scared of his employers.
Felix sounds good. I'm okay with that.
Okay.
I assume that while they were like in the bathhouse, like just the two of them before everyone showed up, and probably just like a brief time, but I feel like Aaron probably would have like just like asked if she's like okay, like if she wanted to like talk about like her memory or anything, like, you know, he wouldn't have just like sat there like, oh yeah, we experienced trauma together.
I feel like Aaron like asked her, and then she kind of been like, "It's fine," and then like they were maybe about to start talking about it, but then Torcha gets into the bath, so like nothing comes of it.
Yeah.
Kri Kree.
Kri Kree.
Alright, so Korrah and Gwen, what are you doing?
What are these papers that Korrah is sorting?
Real quick, before you guys leave, I assume, or before you guys start, I assume, Lizard, you had, like, gotten a hold of Gwen and made sure that Alan got checked up on at some point.
Oh yeah. Lizard would have been like, you need to watch the little child in the forge.
Left alone in the building. Okay, sounds good. Anyway, carry on.
What are these papers? What is Korrah doing?
She's like sorting the letters she sent out, like the copies, into like the right spot. We'll say the council room was like newly finished, so they had been like moving stuff over there. So,
Mhm.
So yeah, she basically had like poked her head in and was like, "Is it like a normal door? Is it like an archway into the room?"
it's like a bigger door, but it's not like.
There's a door I can close, though, right?
Yes, there's a door into the
All
council
right,
room.
yeah.
Double doors.
Let's say there's a door, and then there's like a small like hall, like a really short hall with like 2 rooms off to the side for like offices, and then like in the main area is the council room,
Okay.
the war room.
Double doors.
Yes, they're double doors.
Fancy doors. Oh yeah, so she pokes her head in, and she's asking Korrah if she has time to talk.
But Korra will look over to her and she's like, yes, I have time. Just
Um,
keeping things in order.
Gwen will kind of like blink and be like, she's doing paperwork? What the heck? And then she's gonna close the door and then walk in. And kind of like look at what Korra's like sorting, and she's like, is it obvious that those are like the response letters that she had gotten back?
No, they're the copies of the letter she
Oh.
wrote.
I see.
We kept them for our paperwork, remember?
Yeah, sure.
I have a quick question. Do you guys have any staff?
Yeah, we have guards and such, and Alyssa was our groundskeeper.
For steward.
Do you
Steward.
have like someone there that like manages incoming like letters for you guys?
I don't know. Do we still have our retainers?
Oh yeah, we have all retainers. Yeah.
Yeah, you still have all your retainers. I'm just like, we're not getting into like the nitty gritty rules of them. I don't think.
Well, then in that case, it would probably be like Asterope and yeah, Gwen walks over and she like kind of like glances at the paperwork. She'll sit down in a chair next to Korra and kind of like rustle some papers in front of herself and then kind of like tap them for a second. And
I feel like Gwen starts rustling the papers, and Korra like, she's like not even like looking. She just reaches out and like scoots them forward so Gwen doesn't like mess up their order.
she'll like put her hands back down in her lap and be like, and she'll pause for a second and kind of like turn to face her. And she's like, she just kind of sits there and she's like, there's so much to talk about.
Korra sort of dryly laughs and sets down what she's doing and pushes it back and looks at Gwen. That is.
She's just gonna kind of like lean back in her chair and like rub her hands over her face, kind of like a this is so much kind of thing. And then she just like stares at Korra and kind of like glances at the leg that had been hurt. So what was that? And she kind of like looks down at her leg and looks back up at her.
Korra looks thoughtful for a minute, and then she scoots her chair back and rolls her pant leg up so Gwen can get another look at the scar. You should know at this point, I rarely have a clear answer for whatever it was I saw. She stares at the scar for a moment. I felt unsettled when I first came near the maze. And I didn't understand why that was until I saw that.
Can you re-clarify what the party saw versus all the stuff that Korra saw?
The party saw there was like a deep voice that was like, spare me the groveling, you knew you were taking the risk. And then another voice was like begging for help, saying this was sacrilege. And then they saw a young Korra being picked up by someone. To clarify, she was 6. Is how old she was. they saw her being like picked up by someone and she like bit their arm. And then you guys also saw a vine wrapping around her leg and like dragging her, and she like cut herself free.
When she
And
was
then-
still a kid.
Yeah. Oh, this is all the same
Okay.
event. And then you guys also saw an aura being consumed by the maze. And like their bones like breaking and stuff.
Sorry, I'm writing really quick.
Yeah.
Okay. Gwen kind of fiddles around with her focus like she normally does on her hand. I don't blame you for having that fear then, seeing as it was such a scary memory for a kid.
As funny as it sounds, it's hard to believe I was ever a kid. I don't remember anything that people usually do when they're kids. I don't remember my parents. I don't remember anything. Except for the hot stuff.
She just looks kind of thoughtful at that. Well, I guess I don't really know what to say about what happened in there because I know you don't have much context to it. I just wanted to see if you wanted to talk about it. I don't know if I necessarily have anything important to say about it other than do you want to talk about it?
Her attention is still centered on the scar as she's sort of focusing her thoughts. What do you think it meant? The memory.
Well, so during the memory, did it seem like the person that picked her up was stopping her from going after the person that was being consumed by it? Or did it look like they were pulling them away?
It's unclear. I'd say the only glimpse you got was that she was being pulled up, so whether they were pulling her away from something or stopping her, you don't really know.
For you to have been in such distress that you bit someone? I wonder if the person that the Grove took was someone close to you. For you to be fighting that hard. But I only saw a little bit, so I don't know.
She hums in response. Thoughtful hum.
I know that the Grove supposedly calls to those that are in great despair, or anguish, or apathy, but if its original intention has been changed, then I don't know if that is necessarily true. If it attacks just whoever it wants, if they're in the wrong place at the wrong time. Obviously, the grove that we saw in that memory of yours was the corrupted side of it, not the goddess.
Korra's thinking. I've never really been sure how to feel about the goddess, your patron, the grove. It's always brought a sense of discomfort, fear. I never really knew why until then. And even still, I don't fully understand. Why was I there? I don't think it was calling to me. I just think I don't know. But I will not let my fear control my ability to trust you and trust that you want to fix it.
She spins her ring around and then she reaches out and kind of like rests her hand on Korra's arm. And she kind of takes a breath and kind of like looks down. If this ends up not going the way that I want it to, what I'm hoping I'm doing is fixing the grove. No, I won't ask you that. I hope that what I am trying to do is going to work.
And if it doesn't?
I don't know. I just so badly hope that Aaron's gut instincts are wrong about the goddess. If it's not something that I can fix, then I don't know.
I thought you were leaving us when you went in that maze.
She kind of grips Korra's arm a little bit tighter. I didn't really have a plan. I acted rashly. Very stupid. I shouldn't have done that.
I don't care that you acted rashly. Korra sort of turns in the chair. She's finding it hard to look at Gwen. I care because it felt like you were about to leave me.
Korra stands up and gives Korra a hug. She'll wrap her arms around Korra's neck and kind of like bear hug her.
Korra, like, her arms sort of like hover for a moment, like hesitating before she hugs Gwen really tightly.
I would never leave you. I was just panicked. And as soon as I got to the other side, I didn't know what I was doing. And Gwen kind of starts like crying again.
Korra presses her face into Gwen's hair, and she laughs a little sadly. Goddess Gwen, you will be my undoing.
She's kind of like, honestly, at this point, the way that she's like giving Korra a hug, she kind of like sits on her lap and just kind of like gives her a hug and kind of like bumps her head into Korra's. I'm sorry.
I am too. She just holds her. She doesn't have anything else to say right now.
She'll sit there for a while, and then eventually, at some point, she'll get up and, like, a ways later, and she'll start helping Korra, like, sort through her paperwork and stuff.
Alrighty. You guys sort through paperwork. Eventually there is a slight knock on the door. And a pause.
Who is it?
On the
It's me. What the hell is her name? How do I say it again?
therapy?
Asterope. I was like,
Asterope.
Asterope.
That's
like,
how
we
we
all
all
did
thought
the
it
same
was, and then it was like, it's Asterope, and we were like, you what?
So it's therapy, is that right?
Yes.
Okay. She comes in with a handful of papers. I have these for you. I understand you had written some letters recently, and I wanted to let you know that we've received a few responses. I figured I'd pass those over to you. I'm sorry if I'm interrupting anything.
No, thank you, Asterope. Korra gets up to take them. About time.
I also have some rather concerning news I thought you might like to hear, and she'll hand over a report to you. There's been some news at the capital of the Empire, so I figured I'd pass it along to you and let you decide. But thank you, my ladies. Is there anything that you need from me?
That will be all for now. Thank you.
All right, thank you. And she gives a slight bow and leaves.
Korra will look at the report that she's been given.
Alrighty. In the report, you can see it is like a relatively recent. Here it comes. Here it comes. Relatively recent note regarding a significant battle that happened near Isteril. You can see the main news of the report is that General Vigor is dead and was killed in battle. You can see that he seems to have been defeated by an army that was multiple times the size of his. Claimed to be part of like a new Venethrid republic that seems to have been formed in Isteril recently. It's definitely concerning because an army that could defeat Vigor so easily would have to be pretty significant. So it's a little concerning, but it doesn't provide much more information beyond the fact that he's dead and there seems to be a new republic that has formed recently.
And they're like, the New Republic is like stationed at Isteril?
Yeah, it seems to have set up happened to Isteril.
Korra stands there, her eyes skimming over the report quickly. She's like fully like engrossed in the news, and then she turns to Gwyn, glancing over at the court itinerant flag that hangs in the war room. Looks like we're about to have a lot more problems than the Empire.
Ooh. Okay, she says and kind of like glances over at the flag too. And then I imagine Korrah would like tell her what was in the report and stuff.
Yeah. And we'll go over the letters as well later. I didn't have time to prep those yet, so we'll go over those later. Alrighty. We'll come back to you guys in a little bit, unless there's anything you absolutely needed to cover right then and there.
No, that's like the perfect transition.
Alright, perfect. Alrighty, your group that goes into town. So Ortwin's Retreat is like not that far away, maybe like a 20 to 30 minute ride from the castle walls to like the outskirts of the town. It's visible from the castle towers. And you ride into town where you find the people of Ortwin's Retreat going about their daily business. Many of them hail you, some bow. You're given, plenty of, smiles and greetings.
They like us now?
They don't seem to hate you, and based on your knowledge, never did.
Okay.
So, with that out of the way, what would you guys like to do? Felix, Kri Kree, and Aaron.
Clarification question: do they still have a council?
Sure.
Okay.
I mean, sure. I guess that they mostly. So you would know Ortwin's Retreat is part of. It's like under the Qitu's protection. So basically, the policies of the Qitu dictate the policies of Ortwin's Retreat. Their council still exists, but it's mostly for purely local matters. Foreign policy of Ortwin's Retreat is dictated entirely by the Qitu.
Okay.
So you guys.
Yep.
I'm gonna go to the store that's making our rings.
That's at Kiel, my guy.
Oh. Fuck. Well, okay. Well, I'm here still. I got my places confused. That's fine. I'll just follow Aaron around. Look for things.
Alrighty.
Damn. Fucking Kiel. Did I prep teleport? I'll just fucking go to Kiel myself.
He said it would be 3 weeks. It's been
but if I give them 10 gold, it might be just a week.
No, it won't.
You don't know that?
I mean, for all intents and purposes, you know that these rings are done. They've been done, and they're just waiting for you to pick them up. I don't want to keep track of your time banking, so they're done. I don't know what the hell is going on. So the rings are done. You know you can pick them up whenever you're next to Kiel. So
as
what
we're
are you
walking
guys
there,
doing?
Aaron, after we're done with this town, can we teleport to Kiel to get our ring?
I am not going to Kiel today.
Oh my fucking god! Why?
Why do we have to have them today?
Because I want them.
What?
We haven't been here for more than a day since we fought the Huntsman.
Man.
Oh gosh,
I'm tired
really?
of going back and forth. I have things to do. Yeah, this is the truth.
Oh my gosh. Okay, it's really hard to process that because IRL, it's been a couple months in between, and it's okay, wait. I forgot that fact.
Yeah, I'm being completely serious. We fought the Huntsman 4 days ago.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. We were in Kiel,
and
we came
we
back
kept
here.
going back and forth to talk to Hellraiser, and then
you know what? Fuck it. While you were going back and forth talking to Hellraiser, you picked up the rings, okay? You have them, okay?
Let's go!
you have them.
Guys, when I was back at the Capitol, I got us some cell phones.
What do they do?
They're cell phones!
You're just the rings of message, right?
They give you this message spell?
The cantrip.
Yeah, cantrip, sorry. Okay, yeah, sounds
so,
good.
Anybody who has the ring, you have to just, touch it with a different finger. I think they were pinky rings. Is that what they were?
They could also be, a brooch, if that's what you wanted.
Yeah, I got, I got a pinky ring.
We got
so every
to
time I touch
pick,
pinky
yeah.
ring, we can send messages telepathically to each other. Like, hey, what's going on?
Well,
What was
okay.
the range?
I'm going
Not telepathically,
I'm
sorry.
going to modify that. First of all, you have to still speak out loud. Second of
Yes.
all, it's basically just the message cantrip straight up. Just
Yeah.
that's it.
Oh,
They can take whatever form you want. If you don't want it to be a ring, I don't really care. Whatever.
120.
And then yeah, sounds good.
Cool.
We all have one.
You have them now. Congratulations.
Sick. But I probably wouldn't have gone on this trip, but that's fine. I'm still here.
I think
Dana apparently
I
finds
think-
this really funny.
I think they need to be earrings, so whenever we cast the
I
spell,
don't
we look
want
like
it.
secret agent men.
No, I don't want to copy. I don't want to copy critical.
I want a ring. I do not want an earring.
Yeah, I want the ring. You guys get the rings, but I'm gonna get a ring.
Earrings.
The earrings. You can get the rings.
I don't want an
Whatever-
earring.
whatever the
On
fuck.
my middle finger.
Mine is on my pinky. The only hand that I have, so
Shayna's
it has to be on my
crying.
left pinky.
Jada told us she's drunk, so that's why she's like freaking out right now.
Shayna!
It's alright.
Shayna, you're drunk. You should have told me.
Dunked an entire soju.
Yo, I would have taken like a shot of whiskey with you.
All right. So, Felix, do you come into town with us or not?
Yeah.
Okay, you guys
I'm with
go
you.
into town. Welcome to Ortman's Retreat. They love you. What are you doing?
I am following Aaron.
What?
God damn it, Shayna!
I'm following Aaron. I am gonna be focused. I can focus.
Alright.
I can do it. Blizzard.
Are there any crows here?
Oh yeah.
I mean, sure.
Are there suspicious flocks of crows?
No,
Blackbirds.
there are no crows. The
We got a
crows.
murder up in here.
The crows have been removed.
From the game.
There are no more crows.
I guess we will go to the painter's house.
Okay, you go to this
Sure.
painter.
Sure.
I guess. I don't know who is this guy.
John, a young boy who draws.
John, a young boy who
Wait,
draws.
he's like a professional, remember?
Okay,
He's
John-
he's good at drawing and he's a boy.
John.
No, because he did a portrait for Yahara. It was like really good. He's a
Yeah, they were like,
professional.
wow, this is like pretty good.
John Dark Artist.
No.
John is a professional artist who has years of experience and is not a child who draws. That is my decree that I am making
Yes.
right now.
Okay. John.
Okay, you go find John. What is his deal?
He's all we
This is
know.
so fucking stupid because you're
I know.
like, I want to do things, and I'm like, I guess, like, I don't know what the hell is going on.
John was really sick.
Okay,
That's all I know.
It sounds like a children's book.
okay.
John
so
was
you
really
go-
sick.
You go to John the sick artist, who's not a child, and you arrive at his art building, and he is sick. Like, what do you
Art
want me to-
building his house.
What do you want me to do here? Fuck. Okay.
Knock knock.
Okay. You go. He says, "Come in."
Okay, this is our first time seeing him. What does he look like?
He is a middle-aged, like, dwarf who
Who's a
is
dwarf?
very pale, and you can see that his beard is like a little bit scraggly and not very well taken.
He's got an unkempt beard.
He's got an unkempt beard. He looks very pale. You can see that it looks like he hasn't slept well in forever. You can see he's got chapped lips, maybe a little dehydrated. And you can see he's got some very good art that is like hanging within his house. That most of it, not all of it, but most of it is signed by him. But he comes to the door and sort of like squints at you because it's really bright and he lives in a dungeon. Yeah, okay, he comes to the door. Have we met?
No. Hello, I'm Aaron Lurick. I wrote you a note the other day. I slipped it under your door. I wanted to let you know that we heard that you were sick, and we are here to help you.
Oh, sorry, I don't think I got the note. I apologize.
Aaron, like, looks down, like, he's like, is the note still there? Like,
The note is still there.
ah. I heard you were sick from Yohara. You did, a portrait of her husband.
I did.
Yeah, that's how I knew you were not feeling well.
Oh, I see. Yeah, unfortunately, I've been under the weather for the better part of, 8 weeks.
Is he letting us in, or are we, talking through the door?
You're just talking through the door.
He, looks at Kri Kree.
Hello, I am here to you, sick man.
Oh. Well, sure, come on in. And he'll, shuffle out of the way.
What are your ailments? He's just gonna be, staring at Aaron like he looks.
I have really bad pneumonia. For a really long time. Bad lung infection.
Oh, gosh, you coughed on your head.
It's like the most cursed conversation I think I've ever run.
Alright, bye.
We'll invite you over to sit at the table and be like, it's not contagious, but I can get you some water if you want.
Oh, what the? You guys, maybe you should stay sitting. I can get. Where are your cups?
Oh, they're in the kitchen.
In the kitchen, yes. Gonna go get everybody water. Oh, very good water.
You enjoy some good water.
Oh, this is there. You have good quality water, Painter. This is a shame that you are sick. Alright, can you, what the hell? Can you give me a good inhale in and a strong exhale excuse me, while I put hand on chest. Oh, Lord. So you are very sick.
Yeah, thank you, I know that.
You've been sick for 8 weeks now?
Yep, that's...
And you haven't died? You are very strong. Oh, gosh.
Listen, I ain't dying to sickness.
Your resolve. Yes, you are not dying to sickness today, sir. No. Can I try and heal the man?
Sure. How are you healing the man?
Does Kri Kree even have anything that cures disease?
I
You're
think
poison and disease.
I'm trying to remember. I thought I grabbed a spell that did that, but I can't recall what it was called.
Well, there are player spells that do it.
Because there aren't many. I don't remember. So I can use the restoration spell?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can use lesser restoration.
Okay, because apparently I cannot say it, so I'm going to cast that on the man.
Okay. You cast it on him, and he breathes deeply, and his voice no longer raspy. He's like, thank you very much. Is there anything I could do to repay you?
Do you have money, I guess? I don't know. I was just asked to heal you, but I guess if you're willing to pay me, I'll take something.
Yeah, I mean, I'll pay you, sure. Goes and digs around in the pouch, and he'll pull out, 6 gold. Give it to you.
Your life is worthy, yeah. I appreciate your patronage. No.
Alrighty. Well, I guess thank you guys.
'Cause, he wanted something, I think, done with your skill set of art. And he's gonna, like, look around at all the paintings.
Okay.
Aaron, like, looks a little caught off guard.
Aaron asked the man.
Well, I mean, I don't know if you were planning on starting business back up.
I mean, I'm healthy, aren't I?
He's very healthy.
I had a family portrait that was recently damaged, so I was wondering if you could make a new one for me.
Are you looking for a new portrait completely, or maybe a restoration of the old one?
I'm not sure. He like pulls it out. I don't know if you would be able to restore it. It's like it's smoke damaged.
Mm-hmm.
But if you can restore it, then that would be fine. But
He sort of glances over it for a little bit. I can probably restore this. It might take me a little bit of time, but I can probably do it. He'll be like, you can come grab it probably within the next week.
thank you. I'll shake his
course.
hand.
You'll shake your hand and send you on your way.
Portrait restored.
Portrait restored.
Did Felix come with us, or?
Yeah, I was just watching.
Just watch.
Watching that walk.
You artistry happened on an artist.
Alrighty, so what else are you guys doing in town?
I will tell the two of them that I am going to hang around town for a bit and go talk to people.
Like who?
I need to speak with Alyssa.
I'm gonna tell her that you slept with some other girl.
That Alyssa is out on a family trip at the moment and is not back at the keep yet.
On a family trip!
That's right. I can only fucking prepare so much, okay?
Never mind then.
She'll be back. Trust me. I'm not ready right now.
Alright, fine.
sorry.
I do not say that then.
Okay.
If I know she's not here, then I'm not gonna be like, yeah, I'm gonna go find her.
It'd be funny though if you looked for her.
She's on family vacation. She's camping in the Evenwald.
Oh god.
Oh no!
Then we will go back to the keep. Unless
Okay.
anyone had anything.
Does anyone else have anything they wanted to do in town? Alright, cool.
Done.
You guys go back to the keep.
Cade,
What?
do I have my little baby lizard? The
Yeah,
little
you
Yeah.
find your little baby lizard.
Yes, at some point,
The hell?
you know the little tiny ice lizard that I caught when we were climbing the mountains to get the huntsman that I really wanted to like keep, and I managed to catch it. And like Ian was like, it's gone. It's not gone anymore. And while I was sitting outside watching my baby plant grow last night, I reached into my pocket. And the ice lizard was there.
How is it not gone?
What do you mean?
It's
It's
only
an ice
been...
blizzard that
It's
manifested through the hunt.
That's what you think, but I still have it, so shut up,
I saw them
necromancer
in
boy.
the tunnels.
Mine's cooler than those ones.
It's the same lizard.
It's not, because it's still here.
Ian told me it was the
I don't care what Ian
Well,
told
Ian
you.
told you, but I'm telling Nicole.
Yeah,
She gets to have a lizard, but I can't have my girlfriend.
because my character
Because
has
the
a
lizard
lizard
doesn't
fetish,
require-
I can have it.
The lizard doesn't require me to do anything. The lizard
You have to
is
RP the lizard.
the only thing I have to do for the lizard is say, yes, you have the lizard, and be done. I don't have to
Yes.
RP girlfriend lizard voice. I'm like, and understand what's going on.
I don't think I have Sally anymore.
Who's
Why
Sally?
not?
Why
I
not?
totally forgot about Sally.
You just summoned her. She's just a summoned thing.
When I was eavesdropping on, was it Aaron and Gwen learning how to summon things?
Mhm.
I was eavesdropping and I was trying to do the spells, and I summoned a little mini lizard that looks like me, and he's all albino and white and doesn't do anything.
I mean,
Can I keep him?
still have
Yeah,
Raiden.
you have Sally. You have another
Sally
lizard.
the salamander.
Would anyone else like to have a lizard?
I am very concerned with the lizard obsession in this group.
Well, Sally's a salamander. It's Sally.
Lizard
Jesus
is
Christ.
unnerved.
Okay.
You are collectors of my people.
I feel like I remember Sally dying, but
Oh my god.
No, Sally's not fucking dead.
Why would it die? It's a summoned
if the-
creature.
if the steeds drop to 0 hit points, they
Okay,
disappear.
well, Sally's not
can't.
on the battlefield.
Okay, so you guys have your lizards, and you've got places for your lizards in the Qitu to like hang out and be lizard friends.
Lizard room.
You've got a lizard room. It's very
I don't
cute.
have a lizard room. My lizard lives inside my jacket.
Okay, it lives inside a nice cold pouch within your jacket. Nice refrigerated pocket.
Very good.
Oh my
Okay.
god.
Would anyone else like a lizard?
Like a lizard.
Okay, you guys make it back to the Qitu lizards intact.
Great.
Okay.
Kree, are you okay?
Okay. What would you guys like to do?
Can I check on Alan?
You can. Alan and Yorick, who seems to have joined Alan, and is
Oh.
teaching him actively how to do things.
Alan's good.
They don't seem to be actively doing things.
What are you doing? Hello. Yes, I'm back.
Alan stands at attention, and Yorick looks over you and gruffly, like, puts his head up and is like, "Oh, welcome back. We were working on the leaf like you requested, but,
Yes.
well, there's something weird with the forge.
Oh, do tell.
You can see that it is, like, burning brightly.
Yes.
No, something. York will say, well, we haven't been stoking it. It's just been burning. We tried to cool it off earlier. We didn't need it anymore, but it wasn't doing that. And if you take a peek inside, there seems to be something in there, and I figured I wouldn't touch it because I understand, this is more your wheelhouse.
What? There's something in the fire?
Yeah.
Like a log?
No, like it's like there's like a pile of ash in there, but it's like looks like a mountain almost. But I mean that's normal, but it's not normal.
Sir, do you hear yourself? He's gonna like walk over to the forge and like peek in and stare at Yorick and be like, what the hell is this man talking about? Of course there's gonna be ash in here. Things are burning.
Yeah, and you peer inside and you can see the fuel is all long burned up, but there is what appears to be a like ashen sculpture there. You can see carved into it a like, sort of it's sort of like etched into like the flat part of what appears to be like a plateau is like the symbol of, or like the bust of a like a hooded lady, and you can see it takes this unique shape. There's like a plateau, like perfectly flat at the top, and there's like this big spiraling ash spire that's like right up against it, and there's like a little like flame that surrounds it and is just ever burning. It seems to be, you know, some magically created thing.
Lizard's like gonna stop and stare at it with one eye. And then slowly turn to Alan and Yorick.
Yeah, that's why we stopped.
I commend you on stopping. Yes, very good, very good. Would you two, perchance, want to partake of some water with our fellow compatriots?
Sure. I suppose we can do that. Should
Just
we
a quick-
clean ourselves off?
You guys, you can go. There is a bathhouse somewhere in here that you can use, I'm sure.
All right, we'll make it quick.
Clean yourselves up.
All right.
Give me a moment.
They like go to like wash off all the soot off of themselves and, you know, get unsweaty and stinky from working in the forge all day.
Go. What is happening in the forge? I'm just gonna like stare.
Yeah, I mean, as I mentioned, it looks like a land formation. It's like a mountain plateau, like perfectly flat on the top, and etched in is that like symbol of a hooded woman, and next to it is like this, like right up next to it, like touching the plateau. On one side is like this very tall, like it's very narrow and very steep, like spiraling cone. Almost, it looks like a volcano, almost.
Mm-hmm.
Like a cinder cone of some sort.
Kri Kree is gonna like flex his fingers for a little second, and then he's gonna like just kind of like swish his finger across it.
Okay. You go ahead and reach in, and I mean, it's hot, but it doesn't
Woohoo!
burn you to the point of being like hurting. You swish your fingers through the ash, and it sort of dissipates and begins to like fall apart.
Hello? Hello?
The fire begins to die down as like the little ashen figurine dissolves and collapses.
I'll stand up straight. I'm like kind of turn. Is there any like? Did Alan make a leaf at all, or was there?
You can see a roughly hammered like shape that looks vaguely like a leaf. It looks like they stopped towards the end of it. None of the above.
Okay, cool.
It looks like they did like a good chunk of it. It doesn't look great, but you know Yorick was helping him, so
Yeah.
you know if Yorick stopped him, then you know that Yorick stopped him, right?
Yeah. Kri Kree's gonna like pick up this leaf look-alike and stare back at the ash, and he's gonna like nod his head quickly. I thank you, my lady.
The fire slowly goes out.
It is time to forge a weapon! He's gonna start stoking the fires because he's gonna start working on Aaron's thing.
Okay, you go ahead and start stoking fires. and begin working on transferring that. So in the meantime, while you're doing that, what would everyone else like to do? You guys all return to the Qitu, and I assume reunite somewhere. Maybe go hang out in the forge. Maybe go hang out in the council chamber. It's up to you guys.
Korrah will have told one of their like guards or whatever, the one like stationed at like the front, like to tell the others like when they return to the keep to come to the war room.
Okay. You guys all gather, other than Kri Kree, who's in the forge, go gather up in the war room.
Hi.
Yo.
Korrah will set the report down on the table and turn to them. We have a problem.
Look at it.
Legate Vigor is dead. Usually I would consider this to be a good thing, but it seems he has been killed by people claiming they are the new Venethred Republic, an army seemingly much bigger than Legate Vigor's.
Felix just goes, damn. We're gonna have to fight another fucking group of people again.
When did this happen?
Does the report say how long ago?
A few days ago.
A few days ago.
Do they seem to be mobile, or are they just... Are they staying in Eastrail? Looking at the report.
Seems they're currently stationed in Israel, but it doesn't say much else. I imagine the news is hard to come by in the first place, other than that they're there. What their intentions are, it's unclear. But it does mean we'll have more people to look out for.
This could be a problem for us when we try to take over Kiel.
My thoughts exactly. If this new Venethred Republic considers themselves to be, well, the new version of the Empire, then no doubt they would want Kiel for themselves.
Do we want to try?
Oh, sorry.
Sorry,
Yes?
go ahead. No, I was
I
gonna.
was going to suggest that we should contact the Heralds and see what they've heard about this.
Probably
What were your
a good
thoughts,
idea.
Felix?
I don't know anything about much of what's gonna happen. I was thinking, do we want to talk to them before we just outright attack them?
I was not suggesting we attack them. Their army is 1,000 sizes bigger than ourselves. Which is precisely the issue.
Oh.
How did something like this not... How did Hellraiser not pick them up while they were forming? They are indeed that big. Which they must be if they defeated Vigor.
It's possible. I mean, we don't have any answers yet, but it's possible that the Heralds are in on it. We don't really know.
We were bound to run into enemies when trying to take over Kiel. I'm sure there's a lot of people that want to take advantage of the disheveled state of the Empire.
No doubt. We just need to act wise.
Should we try to increase security around? Or should we lay low?
First and foremost, the keep and Ortwin's are our main priority of keeping safe. I think we should contact the heralds and see what they know before we decide anything else. And, I mean, depending on what the heralds say, who knows if we can even trust their word.
Okay. Anything else you guys want to discuss while you're there?
Hey, I got our rings here.
Oh,
I hand
thank
them
you.
out. Remember, these work like if any of us have the message thing, you just have to touch it, and then you have to speak out loud. You can whisper. I'm sure you could wear it as a necklace if you wanted. I'm putting mine on my pinky finger because it looks fucking cool. But yeah, we have these now. Tight.
Do they have like a number of uses per day, or is it just like?
It's like the cantrip.
It's just a cantrip, so you can just use
okay.
it.
Yeah. What I'll do right now, I'll run to the side of the room. I'll whisper, "Hey, Gwen, can you hear me?" And you'll
She
hear in
kinda,
your
like,
head, "Hey, Gwen,
Perks
can you
up
hear
a
me?"
little bit.
Fucking cool, right?
Kind of fun.
Is there any way I could
Exactly.
block messages from certain people?
Yeah, taking it off.
Messages?
Yeah.
Taking it off.
Yeah, you can take the fucking thing off. You don't have to sleep with the fucking ring on.
What if I just don't want it from some of the people with the rings?
Then,
Oh my God,
You
I
can either
fucking
leave
hate
it
you.
on or leave it off.
Wait, so they're like, these are all connected to each other?
Yeah,
Correct,
Yeah.
yeah.
they're connected to each other.
Wait, is this a group chat?
It is.
Like,
Yes.
oh gosh.
within 120 feet of each other.
Wait, so when he was saying that to Gwyn, it was actually going to everybody?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
The lizard heard it too.
No, Lizard doesn't have the rings because Lizard's down in the
Nice,
forest.
nice. Okay, cool.
I assume we'll write a letter to the heralds now, or
Yeah. I mean, I feel like we should, so.
Okay, and the diplomat's pouch is just instant, right? So you could just hold a
Yeah.
conversation with them right now if you wanted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we can do that real quick if you want.
I guess the letter should just pretty much say, ask what the heralds know about Legate Vigor and the new Venethread Republic, where Hellraiser stands on the issue, and future plans. I'm purposely keeping the takeover Kiel thing vague. Like,
Mhm.
she's not going to say that outright.
Sure.
And then
Sure.
she's going to write a request to burn the letter after they've read it.
Okay. So the letter you get back in short order is basically he was not aware of any Venethread Republic, but there has been some Republican sentiment within Kiel, within the the skirmishes, I guess you could say. The political turmoil in Kiel, there has been some Republican sentiment that's definitely been noticeable, but it's not like super prominent or anything. He seems surprised, absolutely, at the sudden defeat of General Vigor, but doesn't seem to like really know how to take the news. It seems like, on the other side of the mountains, or on the other side of the basin, like it's rather far away and not an immediate concern that he's been like really paying attention to.
Mm-hmm.
does he think that the Republic will try to like expand to Kiel, or?
I mean, he'll say that we can send out spies and find out, but I certainly wouldn't rule it out of their own possibility.
Spies.
Alrighty.
Hold on. Question for the DM.
Sure.
Is there a way we could aspire ourselves to do some scouting for just us specifically.
Sure, I would assume that you have at least 1 or 2 within the castle.
Okay. I guess later Korrah will go to one of the retainers and have them help prepare like a spy mission for one of them. Like a spy. Do we have a spymaster? I feel like one of the retainers has to be a spymaster, right?
Let me go check this character's document that I'm only now looking at.
I don't think any of the retainers.
No, we don't
specifically.
have one
Yeah.
from.
Yeah.
But we could make them one.
Okay, so like I'm a little confused on what does the Reaver mean?
It's just their titles.
What is it? But what does it mean? The blacksmith is obvious. Obviously you're a blacksmith. The evoker, okay, you're like the caster basically. The sage, okay, like you work with the state basically. Skinwalker, I assume this is like spymaster. I would assume.
She's
she's a druid.
like a druid.
Okay.
She could be a spy.
I mean,
She can like turn into animals and stuff.
She could be the fly on the wall.
Wait, no, Reaver. That's what he is. He's a
He's a pirate, isn't he?
I was gonna say it's
He was.
sort of.
He's
Yeah.
a-
So like
he's a
he could
traitor.
be spymaster or
He
something.
probably knows people, yeah.
I was gonna read it more like the Reaver is like your trade guy.
He's known as a
economic-
pirate in the west and a trader in the east, but he's also like a fighter or something. So I feel like he could definitely get contacts at the very least.
But what if the Skinwalker was a spy? What is the Skinwalker's purpose?
I don't know.
Okay, they're the spymaster then. She's the spymaster.
She was just like the druid. She was helping people like grow stuff when she came to her.
Yeah, she was like making the land more bountiful and stuff like that. 'Cause the term skinwalker comes from indigenous terms.
Yeah,
And
sure.
they're like witches who can like turn into animals and stuff.
Sure.
So I feel like that
It
ability
doesn't-
would be useful for spying. I don't know.
It just doesn't specify what they are for, like what their purpose is within the castle, and that's why I'm like, what do we do? Do you just want a new one?
Or you can make
Spymaster.
a new one if you want to. I mean,
Okay, sure.
you're the DM. Do you want to have a fun character that you made yourself who's the spymaster? I mean,
No, it's the Reaver. He's the spymaster. I don't want to.
okay.
Do that.
The Reaver is our spymaster.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
You go.
Korrah
you go-
will tell Aramyorn to start prepping like a spy mission to figure out what's going on exactly in Israel.
Okay, he will say okay. He will send them out as soon as possible. Okay, anything else? At this point, I guess you guys would get a knock on the door. And if you go to answer it, you see a newly cleaned Yorick and Alan there who have tidied up and both give you a bow. Whoever answered the door. Who answered the door?
I guess I can do it.
Cool. The door, and they give you a bow and say, "Good evening, my lady. We were told to come up here by Kri Kree."
She's kind of like squints for a second, and she's like, "Who?"
Kri Kree, you know, your friend, my boss.
Sularitu? Korrah, like, questions.
Sure.
Lizard.
What was that?
Lizard.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Alright. His name is Kri Kree today, I see.
Huh. What did he send you up here for?
Well, to talk. Is he here?
No.
Well, what the hell? Alrighty.
He kind of like turns and looks at the rest of the group like, what?
What did he say? What he wanted you to talk?
He told me to come up here and like talk to you guys over some water or something, but if he's not here, I don't really know what he wanted.
Are you thirsty? There's water down in the kitchen.
I am aware of that.
Why
right,
don't
well-
you
Is
two
there
head back
something wrong with
to...
the bathhouse?
Well, look, Kri Kree, I guess, wanted to talk to us, and if Kri Kree's not here, I'm just gonna go back to the forge. You guys are welcome to come.
Please go back to the forge and tell Kri Kree to come to the council room.
Okay. And he'll give you a bow and leave, and Aaron is like, or Alan is like confused.
It just like mouths the name Kri Kree. Like, what is that? Interesting. This is an interesting one. And she goes to sit back down.
Report my lizard intake. All right, Kri Kree, what are you doing in the meantime?
He was working on Aaron's request, but he also had a secret agenda of lighting the forge to see if the ash thing would come back.
Sure. Go ahead and, first of all, you relight the forge. Fuel it, all that good stuff. Get it up and running again, and begin working on transferring the enchantment on the sickle to the staff. You're proficient in smith tools, right?
Yeah.
Go ahead and make a roll. Add your proficiency, and add your... What stat would that be, do you think? What are you interpreting that to be?
I feel like either dex or strength, but...
Yeah, take your pick.
First roll of Ember
Yeah, I was
Dawn
gonna say,
V3.
like, so I rolled an 11, so if we use my strength, it makes it a 21.
21? Yeah, I mean, you are familiar with, working with pre-existing tools, of course, but interesting as you're working, after you relight the forge, you can feel the heat from the forge is particularly strong and making the enchantment particularly malleable, and is making it incredibly easy to transfer this enchantment for you. You find almost no difficulty in doing it in what you think is like a shockingly short amount of time. Around the same time that Alan and Yorick return, at which point, you've successfully transferred the enchantment from the sickle to the staff.
Hello.
Well, sorry, we were sent back down here by Gwyn.
Oh. Is everything okay?
Yeah.
Well, yes, very good. I have done master work again.
It does look mighty fine.
Thank you. The forge is very strong today.
Yeah, I was noticing. It was making the work a little bit easier. Alan was having trouble, but it didn't seem to be anything related to... it seemed to be more related to his own skill and not the resistance of the metal. It does seem to be particularly easy. I don't know what's going on, but I suppose it's probably something to do with that little formation that was in there.
Very perceptive, yes.
I mean, certainly nothing I've ever seen, so I figured it was probably connected.
I believe you are correct.
Thank you. Alrighty, so yeah, you've successfully done that. York is like, well, they sent me down here to talk about something. Whatever you want to talk about up there, they sent me down here for.
Oh. Okay. How did Alan... Is Alan here?
Yeah, he is.
How did Alan do? I saw the leaf.
Oh, he did pretty good. I might need a little bit of work, but we'll make sure he keeps practicing, and I'm sure he'll do great.
Yeah. Very good. It was a fine first leaf.
Oh, well, thank you.
Yes. I mean, I don't. What time is it? A lot has happened recently. What time is it?
By this point, I mean, I don't know, like mid-afternoon, probably.
Well, I have not received any other commissions other than this one thing. If you two would like, you can take off the rest of the afternoon, I suppose, if you would like. Or you can practice more leaves, Alan. It's a fine trade.
Well, I think maybe we'll take some time off until you're wrapped up in here, and then we'll come back after you've done so we don't get in your way. How's that?
That is a great thing, yes. I am actually just finishing up now, but you can take a little more time if you want, I suppose. Yes, if you are tired.
Sure, okay. But you wanted to speak to us, right?
I wanted to speak with you.
Isn't that what you said? You wanted me to go up there to like have some discussion with you guys over water, so I went up there and they sent me down here. Should I go bring them here?
Oh, I thought it would be they included me and I just met you, and I thought maybe they could meet you, but if they sent you back down here, then maybe they are having... What were they talking about up there? I thought we could all have a camaraderie moment, but...
I don't know. I got there and asked if you were here, and they said no, and then they sent me down here.
This poor guy.
Oh, well... Then I guess I will just say to you, it is nothing super important. I just wanted to say welcome to the Forge. It is good to be here. And I just wanted to make sure that you are respectful to this area. And do not get burnt.
We won't, but thank you. And we'll, I guess, once you're done with that, I do know that Lady Korrah was looking for you, but I understand, between you and me, the Forge sort of, well, it doesn't stop. So maybe finish that up and then head up there and then head up to what you've done.
All right, the Forge is never fully out. He looks a little crazy when he says that.
Oh no! Kri Kree's got the crazy eyes.
Well, if they come wondering why you weren't up there, you can tell them I told you to go up there. But
I will, yes. I appreciate the message. I will just quickly finish up here. And, yes, I will go up there.
Okay. Well, come on, Alan. Let's go down into town and see if we can't marshal up something for lunch here.
Goodbye, Alan. Good to meet you.
Goodbye. Thank you.
Yep. Good work.
And they
this
leave.
is so awkward.
Okay, so what are you doing?
I mean, he's gonna he's gonna finish the staff thing so that it's done, and then as long as it doesn't take I guess an extremely long time, and then he's gonna peer into the forge to see if the thing came back, and then he'll go back up after putting things out properly.
Okay, it'll take you a little bit of time. The forge cooling off takes a while.
Yeah.
Half an hour. So,
do I have to stay the whole time?
I mean, you don't have to, no, but if that's what you're looking to do, then just be advised.
I mean, he wasn't told the importance of leaving, so he's just gonna sit there and wait.
Okay. All right, you put everything away and watch the rest of the fuel burn off and wait for the flames to die down. Up in the council room, about 20 minutes goes by and there's no sign of Kri Kree.
I feel like after 15 minutes, Korrah she's like, oh, one moment, and she'll go to the door and step out of the council room and go to one of the guards and be like, "Could you please fetch Kri Kree from the smithy? He is supposed to come up here, but he is not."
Okay. The guard will go down. Kri Kree, at this point, you're like just watching the flames die down, and there's you can see it's a little too bright and a little too fiery to like really get the sense of what's going on at the moment. You estimate it might take a little bit more time, but the guard comes down and is like, "Sir Kri Kree, excuse me. I was told by Lady Korrah to fetch you for the council room."
Kri Kree was gonna like snap his tail and like stare at the forge, and then turn and stare at the guard. I suppose I should go up there.
All right, I will let them know you're on your way.
Yep, I'm right behind you, good sir. And he's just gonna like stare at the fire forlornly, and then be like, "Alright, yeah." He's gonna grab the staff and then start heading up.
Okay, grab the staff and start heading up. Kri Kree arrives in the war room.
Hello.
Kri Kree, you finally here.
I not told it was immediate need. I am sorry something came up in the forge a little bit.
Yes, no worries.
I have finished your stuff, Aaron.
Oh, well, thank you.
Yes,
That was fast.
I do good work, yes.
Well, I wanted to inform you, as I informed the others. We got a report that states Israel has been taken over by a new force, and that the general of the Empire is dead.
Oh. Yeah. That is news.
I understand you're not as familiar with the political atmosphere up here, but
Well, I know that is capital, yes?
yes, it is the capital of the Empire.
And something else has taken over?
They proclaim themselves to be the new Denethrid Republic, but we're not entirely sure who they are. I have never heard of them.
Have I ever heard of them?
Make a history check.
Wait, yeah.
Well, has anybody?
Make history checks. If you you're either trained in history or know anything about Israel, like at all.
I
Well,
have
I am
plus
trained.
one to
I mean-
history instead of lore checks now. So
23.
Sorry, you
First-
said history?
Yeah. So,
Performance?
Kri Kree, you
15.
probably would know nothing.
Yeah, I was like,
Well-
I mean, I rolled a 14 with nothing to add, but
27.
yeah, I don't know
So-
anything.
I'm not trained in history, but like Gwyn has always lived in the northern. That's why I was
Mhm.
gonna
Yeah,
say,
yeah.
would it make sense if like Gwyn and Aaron could roll?
Sure.
I'm proficient in history.
No, well, I'm not, so.
That was like my thing.
I've never heard of
Oh.
them.
I
14,
got a dirty
sorry.
20.
27.
14 to 2027. There are no historical records of a Denethrid Republic. This seems to be like a new development. You would know, Aaron especially, that within political philosophy, republicanism has been around for a while. Basically a, representative government elected by the people. But within the Empire, it's sort of considered not necessarily taboo, but like frowned upon to like talk about it.
Yep, haven't heard of them.
Are they against us?
It's unclear, actually. We don't know how much they know. I informed the Reva to prepare some of the spies to get some information around Israel. I assume we won't be hearing back from them until quite some time. I'm not entirely certain how much support this new Venethread Republic has from the people.
This is an interesting contender, I see.
As it stands... Oh,
Yes,
sorry.
No. Oh, I was just going to say getting information is good. Please continue.
My apologies. All I was going to say was that I'm not sure how our plans with the Heralds will continue with this new development.
Yeah, as you all know, I was not exactly thrilled about that agreement, but having another force or another variable that we know nothing about adds some more developments into our agreement. Because Hellraiser said he was against the Empire, and if these people are against the Empire, then they have a common foothold. Do they not?
Or we could both be against the Empire and against each other.
Yes, that too.
I'd say our best option is to simply wait for more information before we go forward with any plans.
I agree.
We definitely don't want to shoot ourselves in the foot if we don't have the means to combat this third party that we know nothing about, and it does turn out that they are absolutely more than we can handle.
We should probably just lie low for now. I imagine we all could take some rest over what has happened over the past week.
Quinn just looks tired.
But I imagine that there will be some wonderings among people in the Empire as to what happened to the Wild Huntsman. I am curious if our names will circulate from that alone.
Who would tell anyone about what happened? Because wasn't it just us and the other people that were there?
You never know how word gets around.
Yes, that is true. Perhaps the Phoenix will declare our involvement, whatever it went, with our quarry. After we spent so long fighting.
Maybe the new player will finally show their face.
Awkward.
You know, since we all assume that that's the person controlling the Phoenix.
I assume nothing ever. Is that all we had to discuss? Not that that is a light matter. Please do not take offense, Korrah.
No,
but is
no
that
offense
all
taken.
that was to discuss?
Yes, I believe that. Was it for now? I mean, until we have further information, I'm not sure there's much else we can do at the moment, other than keeping an eye on things.
Yes, and speculation is a dangerous thing.
I'm not particularly sure how to move forward given the elemental situation. We've yet to hear from support.
Look, give me a little bit of time. You'll hear from Shapad eventually.
We're not expecting him anytime soon, so... He's probably a little cranky after dying.
Alright. Well, anything anyone else would like to do today?
Did the ashes come back?
You've run as you like awkwardly say, "Is that all?" and then like rush back down to the forge.
Sprint back to the forge.
Jorta like awkwardly is like, "Is that all?" and then just Kri Kree, excuse me, and Kri Kree awkwardly is like, "Is that all?" and then leaves abruptly, like in a hurry. But as you return to the forge, you do find, yes, that formation has returned. A plateau, sort of jagged on the edges, the etched figure of a hooded woman on the flat part of the plateau with a very tall, narrow, smooth, spiraling mountain, like a cinder cone rising up from the edge of it. A little flames sort of lick around the outside of it.
He's just gonna sit and stare at it now.
Okay. You sit and stare at it. It doesn't go anywhere. It doesn't do anything.
He's just gonna take it in. He's gonna
Okay.
take it in.
Alrighty. Anyone else want to do anything else?
I'm gonna
I
go
do.
hang out with my basilisk. Later, nerds.
On your way down to hang out with your basilisk, you do find you can see through the open front of the forge, Kri Kree just staring into like a burning furnace, like staring at it.
Wait, so like, is the council room upstairs, or is it in the main floor?
I assumed it was within like the keep part and like on like an upper floor, but it's up to you guys.
Okay.
That was
So she
my
just, like,
assumption.
She like looks out a window and he's standing there looking into the fire. She's like, "What the heck?" She will go grab her lizard and then head to the forge and be like, "What are you doing out here?"
Can I come?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Korrah will like follow Gwen's gaze and be like, interesting, and then follow Gwen.
Alright, Kri Kree, you are interrupted as Korrah and Gwen join you as you're staring into the fire at this pile of ash.
She's gonna walk up behind him and just kind of like peek over his. No, actually, no, she's not gonna do that. She doesn't want to be stabbed in the stomach.
I was like, you're gonna what?
She's going to be a safe distance away and kind of like peek around him and be like, "What are you looking at?"
He's gonna like turn and stare. Oh, hello. Yes, yes. Very, very good to see you both. Yes, yes.
Do we see the thing in the fireplace?
You do, yeah. The little formation of ash that is like a unnatural fire that's just ever burning around it.
What is that?
What is what? Yes, what? You see it too? Yes.
We do.
Yeah, the little formation thing in there, yeah.
Yes, yes. Ah, yes, you see it too. He's like very awkward.
Raised her eyebrow at that.
While the lizard is like being awkward, Korra is going to cast Divine Sense.
Okay.
So her eyes flare gold, and then her vision goes in grayscale, and then basically you open your awareness to detect the location of any celestial fiend or undead within 60 feet of you that is not behind total cover. You know the type. And within the same radius, you can also detect the presence of any place or object that has been consecrated or desecrated.
Alrighty, let's have a look here.
So if anything is like consecrated or desecrated, it will shift color in her like grayscale vision.
You do detect that the area within the forge is hallowed.
Let's see.
What?
Okay.
What? Can you
We
say it
had a
again?
giant argument about that spell.
What do you mean?
About
the spell
about
Hallow?
the cost of it a while back.
I had wanted to cast it on the Qitu, and everyone was like, no.
Oh,
There was
It
No
was
one
so
ever said
expensive.
no.
Yeah, because it was expensive, yeah.
well, it's you see. The thing is none of you cast it.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, what?
And is this power, is it holy or unholy?
It's holy.
That's holy. Okay, that's what I thought. So like the Lizarding Gun will see Korra's eyes flash a brief gold, and then she'll curiously stare at the structure inside. It's hallowed. Did you cast this?
Me cast it. I lit the fire, but it. He's gonna stop playing dumb. No, I did not cast it.
Interesting. Could it be the effect of the forge?
Yes, it. Yes. Yes, this is possibly from the forge.
But you're not sure.
I am certain that this is from the forge.
But do you know why?
Oh no, I don't know why. No. Apparently, after lighting the forge to teach little Alan how to make a leaf, and he's gonna point at that metal-looking thing that looks kind of maybe like a leaf.
Vaguely like a leaf.
He and Yorick were working on it when Aaron, Felix, and I went into town to heal the sick man painter whose name is John, who no longer has pneumonia, thanks to yours truly. But I left them, and they said after they tried to put the forge out that this occurred. And I was curious. So I relit the forge and fixed Aaron's thing that he asked me to do, and I put the forge out, and it has formed again.
Looking at it, does it look familiar or anything? Like, is it recognizable to any of us? Besides,
Make
Wizard?
a intelligence check for me.
okay. Come on, +1. Oh, 18!
18.
Oh,
I rolled a
Um,
17.
You don't recognize it, but you can tell that it is definitely like meant to be like a geographical feature. This is very
Okay.
clearly like a mountain and a plateau. And looking closely at the details, you guys can all see there are even like little tiny like ashen trees that are like barely perceptible unless you're like really looking for them.
Korra will. She steps closer to the forge to take a closer look at it, but not too close because it's fire. Do you know this place, Kri Kree?
What? He's gonna like shove Korra out of the way and like stare at it closer?
At the mention, you are able to identify, okay, yeah, this is definitely a place, but you don't recognize it, no.
No, I don't know this place. Do you have a map? He seems like unusually unsettled and like slightly anxious.
A map of the.
Of anything. Desert? I don't know anything. A mountain.
Oh,
Where are mountains?
Korra like hurriedly takes the map out and like shoves it in the lizard's hand.
What is the map that you have?
I'll say it's her
the
map
city
of,
map of Kiel.
Yeah, I'll say it's her city map of yeah.
Okay, well that does literally nothing for you here.
Yeah, we've never been able to obtain a world map. That's like not something we were able to get.
Sure.
Yeah.
This is useless to me.
You said a map.
I, that is true. I appreciate your involvement. However, a map of the city does not help me find a mountain.
Could you say that a bit slower?
There is no need. It is a map of a city, and I need something with a mountain. In a flat place, in a spiral, and trees. There are trees outside. He's like...
It's a flat, it has a spiral and mountains, you said?
It's a plateau.
Looks
Plateau.
Like the plateau is like it's like an elongated pentagon almost. It's semi-rectangular, but there's like a point on one end, and on the opposite side of the point is like this very tall, and it's like super thin, extremely steep. You can see there's like spirals etched into it as it like rises upwards above the plateau, and you can see there's like a crater, like a divot in the top. It's like very clearly like some sort of like cinder cone volcano, but the fact that it's so steep is like a little unusual because I mean that's the ash shouldn't be standing like that. Like it's beyond the ash's angle of repose, if you would. If we wanted to get technical.
Oh my gosh.
Could you draw a picture of it for us that doesn't look like a ship?
Listen, you are asking way too much of me.
Does Gwyn, like... So it looks like a little cinder cone. Like, are there volcanoes anywhere even remotely near us right now?
Where you guys are? No.
That answers my question, yes.
Lizard's tail's gonna twitch a little bit, and he's gonna glance at Korrah, and then at Gwyn. I know we have been through a lot, and I agree we should take some time to rest. And we have a new enemy, possibly, in the midst. And Gwyn just had an experience with her plant lady.
She just kind of like bites her bottom lip a little bit, like, yeah.
An experience, yes, and you, Korrah, have been going through stuff. Everyone has been going through a lot of things, and it's a lot to ask. However, I think I need to go here.
Do you know where here is? Or how to get there?
No, but that has not stopped me walking before. There have been many times I have just walked in a direction, and it has usually worked out fine.
Well, maybe rather than do that,
Excuse me.
possibly one of our retainers has heard of a place like this. I know that Ernbjorn is quite traveled, and so are some of the others. Possibly they know places with... And she kind of looks at it like a plateau with a steep volcano attached to it.
Yes.
Ellen is also well learned. He may know
Yes,
something
he
from
went-
his studies.
He went to a university. Yes.
He did.
Which is apparently a place where you pay to learn things. Yes.
Yes, it is quite a strange concept. I don't believe we have those in the Evan Vault.
No, that is, yes, it is a very silly concept, but it has helped him learn a lot, which is good. Maybe he knows about a volcano.
Well, why don't we go ask him?
Can
And
I,
if- Oh, sorry.
sketch this really quick with my adept drawing skills as a lizard?
Absolutely, you can sketch it real quick.
Okay.
While you're doing that, Gwen's gonna take out a little icy lizard and put it on ya. As it goes flying. No, she puts it on his shoulder.
Oh, nice. Oh, wait, that's Aaron! He's gonna yell into the ring.
Am I close enough? How far is that?
It's 120 feet.
I would assume if you're still within the castle itself, I would probably say yeah, sure.
I would have went to my room.
I was presumably within 120
Yeah.
feet of the forge.
Okay.
Not only do you hear a scream of Aaron through the ring, but you also hear it outside your window.
Yeah, everyone hears it.
Okay, camera shift, because Aaron was, like, actually doing something.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
What was Aaron doing?
So when he got back to his room,
Yeah, we're going to.
he was going to pull out the Codex and Covulum.
It's gone! All that is in your bag is ash.
Ash?
That's right.
So he goes to pull it out, and it's not in there, and he, looks through all his stuff, and he, only finds a bunch of ash. He's like, what?
I mean, your other stuff is still there.
Yeah.
That's ashy.
Ash!
You got
Covered in
everything.
ash.
I too look for my bonds of Blaro, and it's also ash.
It is, in fact, also ash.
I look at my Rod of the Pact Keeper and suddenly it's nerfed.
It's nerfed twice.
Crying.
I look at my boots, and I can no longer run fast. Oh.
My
I look at my
speed.
stuff and it's all the same because it was balanced.
Aaron's like, shit. And he's like, can I feel it? Because, it's an achievement item.
No, you cannot.
Shit.
It's gone. Reduced to ashes.
Well, that's not good. And then I get my message, I guess.
Yeah, and at which point, Kri Kree screams into the ring, Aaron.
Everyone else also gets screamed at.
Yep.
He, looks down at the ring. He's like, I don't want this.
Felix, I feel like Felix is in his room, and he's like, "Hey, let's set a curfew after this time. Only use the rings for emergencies. Deal? Deal."
Wait, what did you say?
What do you...
I said this is an emergency.
Oh.
This... What is it?
I come down to the forge.
Is it important? I'm kind of in the middle of something.
Well, I am in the middle of something too. It
Alright,
is
fine.
important
I'm
to
coming.
me.
Do I
It
need
would
to
be
bring anything?
Bring your giant brain.
Well, that comes with me wherever I go.
Gwen will say calmly and quietly into the ring. Also, some of your books about mountains and plateaus and volcanoes, too.
Oh, should I stop by the library?
That couldn't hurt.
You guys are calm.
How about we all meet up in the library?
Alright,
That makes
you
sense.
guys all meet up in the library. Or do you?
How about I go there first and then we go to the library?
Oh, get over here, please.
Okay, you go to the library and grab some books, and then you go to the forge.
Aaron looks like he looks a little nervous.
Alrighty. And then We'll pick up there next time, I guess.
Okay.